welcome and good evening, everyone, to another exciting adventure here on Kindred Lists here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael, your most humble and merciful Dungeon Master. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 10 of Kindred Lists. And before we get started tonight, we'd like to do a quick shout out to some of our supporters and some of our sponsors tonight. We want to thank our friends over at Twitch, Streamlabs, Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, and also our good friends over at Little Dragon Corp for all their ongoing support. If you type in !Little Dragon in the chat box there in Twitch, you'll get a quick link to their website where you can buy some awesome dice that Matthew is showing off currently. So pretty. So pretty, absolutely. Make sure you go and visit them. And you can use that coupon code there that's in the chat as well. Pro Bonus will get you 10% off your order, which most times covers the cost of shipping to get those dice sent to you. So make sure you do that. Man, this has nothing to do with our sponsors, but I'm super excited because I backed the Hero Forge Kickstarter with the color minis. And I'm going to have a mini that shipped today coming of my character for Eberron, Falric. My little halfling gunslinger is coming, and it's going to be in color. So I'm excited about that. So now I'll have a color one and a non-color one. I already ordered one because I was like, I'm going to paint it. And then the Kickstarter came out, and I'm like, I'll just go ahead and get that too. So if you haven't got a chance, check out Hero Forge. You can make a custom miniature for your character. It'll be fun. So I think Zoss is still trying to get her Roll20 to cooperate. I think she is.
My Wi-Fi hates me.
Your Wi-Fi hates you. I'm sorry, Zoss.
Yeah, it's okay. It's working out.
Well, we can still hear you loud and clear, so that's a good thing. Anybody else have
to click some buttons.
Anybody else have any announcements or anything they want to throw out there really quick before we get started?
Star Wars tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. Star Wars tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Episode 3 coming at you. Red 5 standing by. It's gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Unlimited power. Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. So make sure you tune into that, and also our good friend Lip on June the 2nd, I believe that's this coming Tuesday, is going to be running episode 2 of Tales from the Loop during the day. So that's going to be fun. We'll have more things to share about that in the future, but it's going to be quite an entertaining game and show, so make sure you tune into that as well. So last time on Kindred Lists, our heroes were in Daggerford trying to figure out exactly where all this information from the press came from. They got some information at the Daggerford, I believe it's Daggerford Tribune, I think is what that place was called. Got some information there about things that were going on, and then they decided they were going to go visit the Horncrow estate, which would be Callista's former family's mansion in Daggerford. They found out when they got there that her grandfather Robert had vacated the premises along with many of his right-hand men, and they were headed to Waterdeep to find Callista. They were able to save some of the people that were being held against their will, some of the people who were taking care of the house, and made their way out of Daggerford, not before Mulfin could drop his last, or one of his, bags of beans. And upon falling into the drill field in Daggerford, turned into a massive 15-foot tall sculpture of him, talking about how heinous of a villain he was, and they needed to go and attack him and kill him, or else all hell will break loose in Faerun if he wasn't stopped. And it kept on saying, I know exactly where he is. I know exactly where he's going. That awful creature is headed north. I can feel it. You should go there now. There's no time to delay. You must slaughter him. You must take his head. and you must impale the rest of him. You must hang him outside the city gates. He is a terrible, awful enemy.
Wow.
Saying the most terrible, terrible things it can of itself. And it continues.
Oh, and also, Diana and Molfin looted my house.
Yes, they did. Yes, Diana and Molfin.
Yes, Molfin has a lovely safe that he has to figure out how to get into.
Diana has a bunch of riches that she basically stuffed in bags as she was rushing out of the mansion. And Molfin found a secret chamber in Lord Robert Horncrow's office, in which he basically pulled the... He couldn't open the safe, so he just took the safe with him. Which is classic Molfin. I love it. Oh, there's Oz.
Hey,
She's in. There
We got his
go.
awesomest. We got a Diana.
So that brings us into tonight's adventure, and so the story is told. You guys emerge from the tree in front of the Dumpster Fire Ranch. And it's still very much, I believe it was just shortly after lunch, maybe, whenever you guys did this. So it's all been like, this all happened very quickly. So what
And we do it.
So you guys have arrived. What would you like to do?
I will get them.
Crap, I can't stay. Dropped a little bag and, well, that bloody thing knows where I'm going to be for the next day.
Well done.
So, I'm going into town and deal with this safe.
Telepathic bomb before you go, please.
Okay, Molfin will start setting up the ritual.
Okay. Molfin begins setting up candles and incense and getting his ritual materials ready.
So while he's doing that, it takes like 10 minutes. So I will use that 10 minutes to quickly escort Nixie and the other girls and guys, whoever is here. I don't know how many are here. I think you said 6?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5.
5.
Mhm.
So I'll escort them into the house and just abridged version give Dad and Clarion the details and just hold them until we deal with my family.
Clarion kind of looks at you and he's like, okay, you left for information and you come back with people. This
Yeah,
this
this was not expected. This is not what I had planned. I didn't know that they were still there. So.
Don't worry, I understand. Things change. Sometimes on a whim.
Yeah. Maybe get them some food and make sure that they're okay. I think Nixie's been beat up a little bit, so just check in on her.
I'm not the best cook, but maybe I could ask your father.
Yeah, something. We have something in the house.
Okay. I'll see
This
what we can
shouldn't
do.
take too long. Yeah, we'll be back. And I will go back out and wait for Molfin to do his ritual.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing at this moment? Anybody else have anything in specific?
Diana,
Yes. Hello.
can you help me write my article and send it to, what's her face?
Oh yeah, absolutely. What's the subject?
It's a short article anyway, it's just a blurb piece, you know.
Okay. Wait, what's it about? What's
The Horncrows.
The Horncrows.
Besides what you typed.
How they're awful. Okay. Do you? Is that like ASAP?
Horncrows are
Isn't there
real.
like aren't the
They are not
Horncrows coming
good
to
people.
us?
They are mean to everyone, most of all Krillista. This is what Ashlyn has written.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
That's
guys.
what I
Oh, is that the?
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
They.
And
I
that's
like
one
the
of the message.
clickbait headline.
Can you write that?
Oh,
Can you
that's
send that in a message, and I'll give her the piece of paper I wrote that down on.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna correct a few spelling and grammar errors here, but this is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is really good.
Refrigerator.
I don't know how else to
Compelling stuff.
she's spelling stuff. I will rewrite. I will definitely rewrite the headline "Horncrows for real" so that it's proper. And I don't know. See, I want to turn this into a whole essay, but
Okay, you can help then. I
Yeah.
just gave you the
I'll
outline,
help.
so why don't you help me out?
yeah, that's a good This is a really good outline, Ashlyn. I really like all the points. You definitely have a thesis going.
I don't know what that is.
It doesn't matter. We had to do them at the temple for our world religion studies. I don't know.
Wow, so I have a thesis and I've got a resume. This is so exciting.
Yeah, you've got a thesis and a resume, Ashlyn. You're doing really good.
This day is so exciting. It's like full of things that I didn't know I had. The gifts keep on giving.
Callista, aren't the Horncrows actually on the way here? Do we need to prepare for battle or anything?
Yeah, I was gonna go hunt them down. I don't know
Alright.
what you guys wanted to do, but my plan was to go find them and just deal with them.
I agree. I'm going to put the piece of paper in my pocket and I'm going to go unload all of my stolen goods in the house and then join Callista.
Where are you unloading the stolen goods, Diana? Are you putting them in your room, or are you like...
I'll just throw them on the front door real quick and I'll be like, nobody touch that, and then I'll go.
Clarion like looks down at him. He's like, okay.
I look especially at Clarion. I'm like, dragon, don't touch it. And then I go.
He doesn't say a thing. He just gives you like a strange look.
I think that's legally racist.
It might
Right,
be.
don't touch my stuff.
It's my gold that I'm going to pawn off. And yeah, then I'll just come back outside and join Callista and be like, ready to go whenever you are.
Anything for Lachlan?
I'm just kind of chilling, waiting to get the mind thing going on.
Okay. Molfin, you succeed in your ritual, and telepathic bond is now in place. How long did you say that lasts again?
1 hour.
1 hour. Gotcha. So for the next hour, you guys are bonded telepathically for communication going forward.
Do we know where they're coming from?
South? They're coming from south?
So, well,
Directionalized. Waterdeep,
If-
Denverford's down here, so they're probably coming up, right?
so I'd rather not disappear on you all if your plan is to go after them, so I suppose let's get the hell away from our house and go after them.
Alright.
Sounds
We
good.
disguise as bandits on the road.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I was just
Just
gonna
sounds
walk
cooler.
Well, I was thinking we just roll up on them as us.
I
think
want to
that's
just
even more
what
terrifying.
disguise kit? What a disguise kit. Do you have a disguise kit, Lachlan?
I'm a walking disguise kit, but it doesn't do much
Yeah.
good since the entire Lord's Alliance knows where I'm standing at any moment.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We should go.
I'm just gonna pull out the rock and get us to fly
Hmm.
around the water, like not over top of Waterdeep, around Waterdeep,
Okay.
to see if we can get a vantage point and see if we can see them in the distance. I don't know how many days out they are, but
Okay. So you... What, Molfin, you want to do something before that happens? You were...
Well, as we're climbing up onto the rock, I pull out of my robes the scrying eye that I took from Callista so long ago,
oh right, I forgot you had that.
and opening the bag of holding that I've now got strapped across my chest, reaching my hand in, and going to put my hand on the safe belonging to Old Man Horncrow. And I'm going to use the scrying eye and this possession of his to try to scry on him to see if I can find out where he is.
Oh, CSI.
This is nice.
Nice.
This is unexpected.
I have a possession of his, granted it's a 5-foot-tall safe, but...
Okay. Sure, you do have possession. So what does possession of something of his do for your scribe?
It gives a -4 to his saving. Basically, he has a -4 to his wisdom save to try to beat the DC.
Oh.
Okay, and and the DC of this wisdom save is currently?
I have no idea.
Let me check. I might have it.
If it's my spell save DC, because I have this. Actually, is this? I don't know.
It's 17.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, he'd have to roll a 21 because he's got a -4.
So he has to roll a 21 to avoid this scrying spell that you begin to cast.
Yep.
And this is wisdom?
I believe so. Let me check the spell again. Wisdom saving throw. Yep.
All right, here comes his wisdom saving throw into the chat. He fails.
Nice.
His wisdom saving throw. So as you are casting this spell, Callista and the rest are kind of waiting on the back of the rock for you. Focusing in on the possession, the safe. And when you focus in on this safe, there is now, you are used to this feeling by now, Molfin. But there is something cold and dark about focusing and channeling your arcane energies on this safe. There is an evil presence among you. Misery loves company, right? Is that so
New bomb.
and you begin, your vision starts to swirl around you, and you begin to start to almost feel like as if you're floating into the air and then drifting off, kind of like this mind out of body experience. As you focus in your skills, your friends are all watching you as you're just closing your eyes there, just focusing and breathing steadily. And you end up looking as if you are over the shoulder of this, what seemingly looks like an older man, dressed in these nice, fine, noble-looking robes, sitting at a table across from another individual, who you would recognize because you've seen him before. This is the individual that Ashlyn kicked in the face at the funeral.
Oh, snap.
Shit.
Of Anastasius. Whenever they made that whole fiasco.
The guy with the gauntlet hand.
The guy with the gauntlet hand. Mm-hmm.
The guy who the only reason he's still breathing is because Ashlyn kicked him before I did something stupid.
Yes.
Yes. Ashlyn kind of saved him in a way by kicking him in the face.
He was.
It happens to the best of us.
What have I done?
No, because now.
And to this old man's right, you see another individual. He has kind of shorter hair. It looks like a few visible scars on his cheek. Looks to be average build human. Seems to have swords sheathed over his back, wearing chainmail and sitting at the table having something to drink. To the other side, you see a very rotund-looking man with kind of almost seems like he could be fat, but it could also be muscle. And he has slicked back, greasy black hair and a couple scars on his face as well. Like, this guy looks like he fell out of the tree and hit every branch on the way down. Like, that's kind of what this guy looks like. And he's got this massive sword, like, sheathed over his back. And it looks like they're just all sitting at this table, kind of relaxing. You hear them. Well, Lucian's on his way. He'll be there soon to confront them. And he's sure this is going to work. I have absolutely no doubt. Callista's foolish. So you're not sending him to engage them? No, Lucian's the talker. He's gonna bring them to us. And then we'll have a much longer conversation. Perhaps we can use your dungeon. That's what it's here for. Actually, we just freed up some space recently. Well, I guess we just need to wait. Do you have some more, do you have some more of this wine? It's elegant. It's fantastic. And basically, they just start shooting the crap back and forth for a little while. Molfin seems like just small noble talk.
God, I hate these people.
How-
We've heard this near Molfin's head.
Molfin would be the only one that have seen it and heard it, so he had to translate for you. Molfin, how long can you scry?
Let me
10
see
minutes?
what the...
I'm getting like a weird like echo in my. Is anybody else getting like a like coming?
Yeah.
back? Like it almost sounds like my voice like coming back at me.
I also
Yeah,
have
it's
an
coming
echo.
from Sarah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, let me push it off.
Okay, yeah, so it's Chris said it's 10 minutes through that.
10 minutes. You would get a little bit of more information. The one with the gauntlet hand would say something as, you know, all these years of our business negotiations arrangements have really paid off for both of us. I just want to thank you. Thank you for being willing to help us with our, you know, our business. And then the guy that you're scrying on, Robert, seems to respond back. It's not really a problem. It's a mutual benefit. You know, that's what we do. We help one another. That's what our goal is. And he says, it's just a shame we haven't located the Zalaran family yet. It is my wish to see every last one of them slaughtered. And I will stop at nothing. And the one's like, well, we did have those few drow slaves that we've taken care of. And then Robert kind of looks back and says, well, that was just business. This one's personal. And then at that time, like, you kind of fade out of your scrying and open your eyes in front of the rest of your group, which is like patiently waiting on the back of the rock for you.
Molfin's going to climb up onto the rock, and as we start to take off, well, no. I think everyone here remembers that prissy sort of a whatever from Anastasia's funeral. The one that got me and Ashlyn so warmly regarded by Waterdeep. It seems that your grandfather has some business with him. They have sent Lucian to find you. They mean to persuade you to have a conversation with them in that gauntleted fools, well, formerly gauntleted fools dungeon.
So they're sending Lucian to come get me to bring me to the disfigured noble?
Yes, and to apparently chain you in the basement to have a conversation.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that makes more sense. Okay.
But my thought, if you're willing, is I have the ability, I prepared the spell today, to send a message. Perhaps we should offer the good Lord Hornswoggle, whatever the hell his name is, a meeting on our terms. As there is something within this safe of his that I have. It's a very powerful arcane sense. Something tells me he'd be more than happy to come to us in an effort to retrieve it.
What if something evil's inside the safe?
Something evil's outside the safe too.
Fair enough.
This
Well,
way,
but I have to say, for all your years, you haven't chained anyone in your creepy basement dungeon that we know of, actually, so never mind. Don't answer that.
I would just like to say I've never had a basement dungeon until you people
Yes.
built that house. Now there is a basement dungeon, so watch yourself.
It could have been a nice dungeon. I mean, a nice basement with a pool table. Like, you made it a dungeon.
Like any normal retired adventurer, come on. It's like,
But my thought is perhaps draw them out of the city somewhere else, but not towards our home.
Maybe east of the city?
I can set a meeting wherever. I'm quite certain once he realizes that I know the location of his safe, and I'm not sure how he would be able to check to see if it was in fact missing, given I closed the...
We could prove it by
Portrait.
opening it and knowing what's inside. Or do you feel like it's too dangerous to open?
I have
Like a
concerns about
challenge.
opening it without proper containment.
Gotcha.
It's best waited until tomorrow when I can prepare a spell to contain myself while opening it. Because if something goes wrong, I can shift into the ethereal plane
Right.
and then leave said item trapped within.
Okay.
Or if I don't want to risk getting possessed, I just realized I could just, misty step out. But
An open field, you know?
So, should I summon him to a location east of the city?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Sounds good.
So,
Tell them an hour east of the city. It won't take us an hour to get there on this thing, but it's going to take them an hour to get there.
perfect.
So I will
So
start flying as Molfin's sending message east of the city to find a place to land.
Okay.
Are we learning just Lucian or all of them?
My goal is to lure them all. There's no purpose in luring one of them and leaving the rest to... If we get Lucian, then we have to deal with him, and granted, picking them off one by one would be simpler, but also much more time-consuming.
And
Because
how does Lucian know where we are? Like, why would they send Lucian ahead? Does he know where we are?
They did not specify.
well, our address is in the paper, so
With no
I'm just
weapons.
gonna.
Not
I'm gonna kinda
your Waterdeep address isn't in the paper. It was like your home addresses. You remember? It
Right.
was like because it
Uh-huh.
was Diana's like temple address. It was Callista's Daggerford address. It was Lachlan's home address where his parents
okay.
were, and
Wait, they're coming to Waterdeep, and that's the address they have?
they have those addresses.
Didn't Callista, didn't they put an ad in the newspaper where they were requesting any and all information about your whereabouts? Somebody might have snitched.
Maybe.
and they get stitches.
Exactly.
So then do we just camp out on the road where we know they're going to be coming from and
Ambush.
ambush? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do a perception check just in case Lucian's nearby. I don't trust this. Can I do a perception check, please?
Absolutely,
Just,
sure.
look
You guys
for
didn't.
him.
You guys didn't take off on the rock, have you? You guys are still like planning down below, right?
Yeah, I guess at this point, like we're on the rock. We just haven't taken off.
Yeah.
I was like kind of like maneuvering the rock to go east, but we haven't flown yet.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Locked.
You're looking around. You don't notice anyone coming in your direction. I mean, you do notice like it's in the middle of the afternoon, so you do see some traffic on the trails and roads around you that are going in and out of Waterdeep, but nothing that looks familiar to you.
And I would assume that the noble with the hand is probably in the North Ward.
I believe you've been to their estate based on the backstory that you had written with Anastasius.
Oh, well, Anna might have brought me there.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So just making sure I get the right number of words here.
Uh-oh. He's contemplating his word amount and placement.
So I want to make sure I can drive this home.
That cat is huge, Zos.
My gosh, it's
That-
like a dog.
That's like, yeah, that cat is huge.
Oh, Jesus.
I think it's bigger than my dog, yeah.
So,
Maybe you
Muffins
maybe you
get
needed that big
hair.
old bag of cat food that you ordered.
so Molfin casts Sending to Lord Horncrow. We won't be joining you. We have your safe behind the bookshelf, behind the painting. Meet 1 hour east of Waterdeep. Not there. Safe is mine.
Ooh, I wish I could hear this. Ooh, so good.
Okay, after a moment passes, you receive a response in your mind. The safe. You can keep it. Thanks for reaching out. This improves my plan even greater. Thank you.
Oh crap, what did you do?
And
I
that's,
mean, we don't know this.
and that's the only response you get. It ends after that.
Well, that did not work quite as well. Apparently, something within the safe will enable him to further his goal.
Can we open
like
the safe?
that.
I fear we have to.
We have to.
Oh, wait a minute. But your father still has the staff. I wonder if he's used it today.
He shouldn't have. Unless he's just playing around with it.
Fireball!
Which is a
Fireball!
very good possibility.
There's a field burning behind the house somewhere. It's like shooting fireballs out the window.
Like playing golf on your front lawn. Like,
That's-
My thought is to have
I'm just practicing.
your father seal me in within basically a force bubble like we did with our hill giant friend while I open it.
Okay.
What the hell do you want
Can't
to...
you just like magic mage hand it open or something like that?
Not necessarily. I tried to pick the lock while it was still in the wall, and that proved a little bit trickier.
That's because you're a terrible lockpicker.
Wow.
if only you belonged to a guild of thieves and knew
Yeah.
two of them.
Who knew what would happen?
Gee, you know, I'm really trying not to think about that time Lachlan got himself stuck to a treasure chest and couldn't open
we
it.
don't talk about that one. What happened in Cruella's
He
lair
just, like, a
stays in
mental
Cruella's
image
lair.
of
Was that a mimic? No, it was just a regular old chest.
A swift death to those who oppose me.
Misty said,
That's how we
Misty said.
That's so good.
Well, Molfin will go call Riled out and ask him to put me in a box.
I'm putting you in the box.
Lachlan, yes, if you wouldn't mind. We have to open a safe that we stole from a...
Raud walks back into the house and disappears for a moment. And then he comes out with a wooden crate. I think this will be your size, Molfin. He sets him down next to you. Now get in. I'll put the lid on.
I need you to put me in a box made from the... I need you to cast Wall of Force from the staff.
The box. Oh. He
The
looks
That box.
He looks down at the crate and he's like, oh, how embarrassing. I am sorry.
Lachlan, do you wish to come in with me and help me open this?
Sounds great.
Oh god.
So, Molfin, you want the box around you, or is Lachlan getting in the box too?
Sounds like he's coming with me, so it's going to be around the both of us.
Okay. So you want him to cast Wall of Force around both of you?
Yep.
Okay. He does so.
Possibly.
He uses the staff to cast Wall of Force around you. You have that invisible barrier around each of you.
And Molfin's going to take the bag of holding and basically, maneuver it and dump the safe out of it.
Okay. It slams down inside within the invisible wall with you guys.
I tried to pick it myself and hold up the picks, and you can see one of the picks is like bent and a little piece broke off. But
Ooh.
I tried doing it this way, and I start trying to, pantomime to Lachlan I did. See if you can do better.
Oh, yes. All right. Let's see. Watch an expert. I'm going to mage hand out my lockpick kit and kind of lean back against the back of the wall of this thing here. And
you have advantage on this check because Molfin described to you what he was doing and what he was doing wrong.
Ooh.
So I'm going to give you advantage on it.
Thanks, Gramps.
Learn from my
Alright.
mistakes.
Okay.
Oh, the advantage definitely helped. As you're taking your mage hand is going through and putting the lockpicks in, trying to find the pins that it needs to hit inside the lock to unlock it, and you come across a piece of the broken lockpick that Molfin had left inside there, and easily able to push it out of the way with the tools, and you hear that click.
Did you lose something there, Gramps?
As the safe appears to have opened, unlocked.
Molfin's going to walk over and just open it.
I duck and cover.
Lachlan ducks and covers in the corner of this invisible wall corner that he's in.
Yeah.
You open it up and nothing flies out. But inside, you can see there are several leather-bound books. And it looks to be some kind of pouch. Some kind of, like a black velvet-looking pouch. Inside the safe.
Okay. And Molfin is going to cast Detect Magic then.
Detect magic?
Yep.
Right, as you detect magic, the only thing that you get from the detection of the magic is the wall in which you are surrounded by. Nothing appears to have any kind of magical essence whatsoever coming from it, from inside the safe.
Okay, can I look around the inside of the safe? Do I see looking for traps or glyphs?
Okay.
Anything that would
Yeah, let's go ahead and make an investigation check against the safe.
I think I gotta pull this stuff out and look at it. Don't want to get blowed up. That work? Yeah, there it goes.
Plus 15.
Oh.
Jesus.
Wow.
It doesn't seem to be any traps at all. No magical traps. Nothing mechanical about it that's trapped. Nothing.
So Molfin's gonna reach in, pull out the books in the pouch.
Okay.
Gonna very carefully sort of open the pouch a little bit and look in.
It looks like a ton of platinum pieces.
Stick those in the row to count those later. Start opening and flipping through the books.
There are 4 books within this safe. Rather large leather-bound books. The first one is clad in like a dirty blue leather. And as you open it up, you see what look to be a lot of records, receipts, transactions, a lot of documentation of the family business. Appears that the Horncrows have gotten their, have earned their notoriety and nobility and riches through the, through gathering and distributing relics and artifacts to different people to study them, to different people to put them in museums, to most of it, what you're looking through, most of it's pretty legal and legit stuff. But there is a section in the back that talks about a few relics that are mysterious. In one of them, you start to recognize some names. One of Dorn Ambercrown stands out immediately as you're going through the back of this record book. Apparently...
How recent does it say? Like, is this in the middle of it? Do I think this is before we separated from Dorn, or do I think this is more recent?
It's before you separated from Dorn.
Okay.
So this is basically before episode 1 of Storm King's Thunder.
Whoa.
Wow. What the hell?
This is way back. Apparently, somehow, the Horncrow family got word that one Dorn Ambercrown was on a team that discovered an artifact that no one could truly understand and explain. And when hearing about this, the Horncrows blackmailed Dorn. And what they did was, in return for silence, the Horncrows would say they wouldn't say anything about this artifact that Dorn had found if Dorn would provide individuals for the slave market from the temple. In which they've come into an agreement. It also talks about an individual named Delphin, who was also part of the negotiations. Apparently, they're not the Horncrows for some reason weren't sure what Delphin's role was in all this. But Delphin apparently was called in by Dorn to study this object that was found. And apparently not only did Delphin know about it, but also Lady Morwen Daggerford also knew about it. But for some reason or one another, it was never reported to the LA that they had it. So thus, a plan was set out to hide the item. And they decided that underneath the Temple of Elmater was the best place for it. Now, it's going to take you a lot longer to go through the other books, because there's a lot of information here. So it's up to you whether you want to take this stuff and go somewhere else.
Yeah, Mulfin's taking it all, putting it in the bag of holding he's in possession of now.
And as you're going through the books, you notice the cover of the third book stands out and punches you like right in the gut. Like, it's not like a literal punch in the gut, but you recognize the symbol in the front. And it is a red leather-bound book. Engraved on the front, like burnt into the leather. is a wide open hand with an eye in the center of it.
Bloody hell. Malvin will just sort of flag down. Well, you can drop it. Nothing's going to jump out at us.
Are you sure? Are you positive?
Unfortunately.
But nothing's gonna... He looks around at everybody else outside the box. And nothing's going... Are you sure nothing's going to jump out of the box if I let it go, right? Lachlan's pressing his face on it.
Yeah. Breathing fog.
Fine. And he lets go of the wall.
No.
How big is this safe again?
It's pretty big. It's probably yours. It's probably the size of you.
See, I can't remember if I have that spell prepared today. Probably not, because that would be useful right now. No, of course I didn't bring it with me. Well.
Find anything useful?
Yes, fascinating things. Perhaps we should just head west to east, wherever the hell we were going, and I'll explain when we're there. Get us away from the house, please. And there's more than this. Much more at play.
As Molfin says that, you guys start to hear what sounds like hooves on the road. Getting closer.
A lot? Just one horse? How many horses?
Sounds like a handful. And as you guys turn to look, there seems to be a wagon. An enclosed wagon that Callista you recognize immediately. It's one of the Horncrow's wagons. It's being pulled by 4 looks like draft horses. And it looks as if there are 8 individuals on horseback riding in like 4 in front, 4 behind as they're riding along the road. And there's just a cloud of dust like pouring off of back behind them on the road. And it looks like they're kind of coming beside the house, but haven't yet pulled up onto the road, like to the front of the house. So there's still a good bit of a distance away.
We get the guard drinks to scare the horses away.
Does it look like they're going to be heading down towards the house? Is that the impression we're getting?
Your insight is telling you yes.
I want to cut them off. I don't want them to get near the house. I don't want them to see Nixie. I don't want them to see that we have their people.
Let's go get him.
Okay.
I follow Callista.
I'm just flying with the rock. So if you guys are on the rock, I'm flying the rock to intercept.
I'm gonna jump and catch the rock.
That's true. That's true. Good
Have
point.
the rock pick up the safe.
Okay.
We'll drop the safe in front of them.
Okay.
Or to scare the bloody horses.
I do so.
Molfin, did you tell us what was in the safe?
Not short version. The Horncrows, Dawn, and the Lord's Alliance are all in league with this. Delphin, Lady, whatever the bloody hell her name is that runs that godforsaken city. All of them knew. All of them decided to bury it underneath the Temple of Ilmata. Because they figured, hey, if we're selling slaves out of the temple, why not? Oh, yes. The Temple of Ilmata sells slaves through the Horncrows. That's in the book too, but we can discuss that later.
Books? Who put books in a safe?
I'm intercepting. I'm
considering it
pissed.
proves
I
that-
intercept. I'm not even listening anymore. I'm just like,
So pissed.
Okay, so you guys jump on the back of the rock and begin flying up. Okay. Molfin, are you on there too, or are you staying put?
Nope, Molfin's right there beside, and Molfin is preparing a spell.
Okay, and you guys, now, Molfin, you have everything out of the safe, and the rock has the safe, correct?
Right,
Okay.
everything that was
All
in the safe is
contents
now
are
in the bag of holding. That I can't remember who I grabbed who had the second bag.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Molfin is
one,
now-
and you took one from Diana.
Okay, so I have the second bag, and it's just sort of strapped across Molfin's chest. But it's now got everything in there. The safe is Probably the door flapping, as we're flying.
Yeah, it says ting, 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 the metal door like slamming shut. You guys fly above, and you can see down below that group is headed towards the intersection where they're getting ready to turn towards your house. What would you like to do?
I want to drop the safe before the intersection so they don't get any closer to my house.
How far up are we?
How far up would you like to be?
60 feet.
Okay. 60 feet
I'll fall.
is. You're going to fall?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off.
Excellent. What? Ashlyn, while the rock drops the safe, Ashlyn falls as well. And I don't believe you take any damage at all from a 60-foot fall. You just land next to the safe. And it sticks into the dirt of the intersection. And you see the first 4 individuals that are on horseback, their horses just rear up and go, because I'm terrible at horses. And and they start to kind of panic, and they pull on the reins a little bit and start to backtrack a little bit and look at this safe and Ashlyn standing there in front of them. What is the meaning of this? As everything kind of comes to a stop.
My finger is tight. You shall not pass.
Okay. How large is this from the first individual to the back? How far apart are they?
I would say like 50 feet.
Yeah.
Because they're all kind of like stretched out in a line, kind of. It's like 2 horses, 2 horses, 2 horses, 2 horses, cart, 2 horses, 2 horses.
Okay. Morphin's going to lean towards Callista. We need them to bunch up a little more.
And you hear some of the... Lucian, someone's out here saying that we cannot pass. There is a safe in the middle of the road. And then you hear...
I will telepathically tell Morphin, you start circling around them. I'm going down. They're going to focus on me. You start...
No.
And eventually the door opens.
Fine.
And you guys see an individual step out of the cart. This really fancy looking enclosed cart with, I imagine it's like burgundy and gold in color. It looks really ritzy. You see an individual that looks like, let me see if it'll allow me to share. You know what I'll have to do? I'll have to put his token out here on the picture here. I'll put this out here.
How far away is he from me?
He's probably like 30 feet away from you.
I want to run up.
That's what he looks like, kind of.
That guy looks like a Lucian.
He's a very, very attractive human man with blonde, long hair. And as he gets out, he kind of does the Fabio thing where he takes his hands and runs them through his hair like this. And he moves his hair back and forth a little bit. And then begins to start walking through. You can see that he has like this burgundy outfit with gold trim. And he's got these like leather gloves that he's wearing. These very nice looking ritzy kind of leather gloves. He's got 2 what look to be rapiers kind of wielded or sheathed to his sides. And he has like this half cape dangling from his back. He's like, what is the meaning of all of this nonsense? We have places to be. What is going on?
Can I spit in his face?
You're 30 feet away. That'd be quite a spit.
I'm
going to kind of swoop down a little bit.
Okay.
So it's about 20 feet, and I'm going to jump down with Alter Self and kind of glide down.
Okay.
And land in front of him.
Like directly in front of him?
Probably about like 10 feet in front of him.
Okay, what are you altering yourself as?
I'm just like giving myself like wings to like just kind of like glide down so I'm not hurting myself.
Okay. And you do so.
Malphite's going to take the rock and literally start swirling 5 feet above the ground, tighter and tighter, to sort of push these people clustered together.
Oh, you're trying to swirl? You're trying to like push them in, like get in the rock?
Yeah, I'm trying
corral them
to basically corral them into.
Okay.
Hurting them.
Yeah. They're there's going to be a limit to that because you're talking about like horses and their bodies like, you know, getting up close to each other. So you'll be able to get them a little bit closer, but probably not. Eventually the horse is just going to be sea of horse and they're not going to be able to go anywhere else. So yeah, you do that.
Do I think I can get him into about a 20-foot cube?
Probably the most is going to be like a 30.
Okay. And yeah, Mulfin's going to circle them until he hits that 30-foot cube.
Because if you think about it, these horses they're like large creatures, so they take up 10-foot squares, basically, is what they take up map-wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're kind of squealing around, and this individual kind of looks back forward, then looks right at Callista. There you are. Your grandfather sent me.
I'm at Callista's side by now.
I light my hands on fire.
Can I spit in his face now?
That's a very nice trick. But I did not come here to... I did not come here for fisticuffs.
Huh.
Give me a reason why I shouldn't kill you here and now, Lucian.
Oh, Callista. Do you continue to harbor bad feelings towards me? I thought we've gotten past all this. Lucian, they got a massive bird. The horses are kind of like jam-packed. This Mulfin's flying around with probably Lachlan on his back and Diana on the back too. I'll just hold it together. We won't be here long.
I want to punch him in the nose.
So you're gonna attack him?
Wait. Can I look at Callista first? And say I want to punch him in the nose?
I mentally tell her to wait.
Okay.
Listen, Callista. Your grandfather misses you. He misses you. He wants to talk to you.
Lucian, do you believe the bullshit's coming out of your mouth? Do you really believe that bullshit?
Actually, I do. I believe the bullshit coming out of my mouth, to be honest, yes. Because it's not bullshit, Callista. It is not bullshit. You know he misses you.
Oh, he does. Does he?
Yes, he does. He wants you to come home.
I'm sure you and Boris miss me just as much, huh?
Oh, you know that. You know Boris, he's a little rough around the edges, but he has changed a lot since you've left.
I know Boris. He taught you well.
He's different. Listen, your grandfather just wants you to come home safe and sound.
He wants me to go to the noble estate and sit in a basement and be chained up and listen to whatever bullshit you want to stream at me. So why don't we try this from a different angle and give me a proper reason why I shouldn't kill you, or you have 10 seconds before I unleash my friend here on you.
He looks at Ashlyn. Are you serious?
10.
Do you think she stands a chance against me?
9.
Yes.
8.
You're foolish to think of that. I've been
7.
well trained in the arts.
She's pretty dangerous.
I don't care. I'll go down swinging.
Time's running out, Lucian.
Well,
Give me a reason. 5.
What? If not the love of your grandfather, what reason could there be?
3. 2.
He looks up at the horse guys and says, "Get ready, boys. Plan B." And he goes.
Fire elemental.
And he goes for his swords at the same time. So I'm gonna have everybody.
Can I release that spell I had prepared?
Yeah, because you did say you had a.
You're counting down too, so.
Specifically targeting him to separate him and however far I can, whatever I can get around him without locking Callista and Ashlyn. I cast Force Cage.
That was a terrible roll.
Seal them in a prison cage. 20 feet by 20 feet.
Okay.
There is no saving throw.
So you're doing this on, I would say, probably half of the people that are with him. Is that what you're doing?
Basically, I want to get him and as many of his little friends as I can.
Well, the way it's going to work is you're looking at where he is. You're either going to get him, his cart, and his horses alone. You're going to get the 4 guys in the front on their horses, or the 4 guys in the back on their horses. You wouldn't be able to get, like, the way you're positioning things, you wouldn't be able to get all of them in there. So it's your choice. Him and his cart, or his cronies. One of the 2 sets of his goons. Oh, Diana rolling big.
Wow.
My first roll was 9, so I mean...
Oh, gotcha.
What I know, we're all mentally linked. What I think that Callista wants a piece of this guy. Does she want to get her hands on him?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to grab the 4 individuals closest to Callista.
You guys would also notice that while she was scared going to the estate, she doesn't seem as scared towards this guy. He's a problem, but she's not scared of him.
Mm-hmm.
Your fear is more harbored towards this Boris individual, correct? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to...
Okay, I'm going to drag just this token out there just so I can use an initiative. I don't have a battle map ready for this because I didn't know when this encounter was going to take place. So if you guys just want to pull tokens out onto this picture, that's perfectly fine to roll your initiatives. And I'm going to roll my initiatives, and then I'm going to change the music, and then we're going to get down because it looks like we're going downtown with this one. So here's
what,
that one.
Seeing how everybody else is doing, I'm actually going to burn my advantage from last week on my initiative roll.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't click my token.
What?
I said I was going to do that because that is a 22.
You had a 22?
22.14.
Okay, yeah, if you guys want to change yours, do I have everybody in the initiative there? It looks as if I do.
I don't see horse people unless that's what the 21 is.
That's what the 21 is. Yeah, those are the horse people. Horse people!
Sorry.
Alright, I'm going to change the music because things are getting a little intense here.
A little heated.
A little heated. Just a little bit.
Just so everyone is aware, Force Cage is not concentration and it lasts for an hour.
So they are locked in this cage for an hour. Is it invisible or is there like a crackling energy that kind of surrounds them?
It says it's invisible. Yeah, it says immobile, invisible, cube-shaped prison. 20 feet on the side, in the shape of a cage, 20 feet on the side, and is made from half-inch diameter bars spaced half-inch apart.
Perfect. Wait, it's made out of bars?
It's made out of bars.
So technically they could fire out of it.
Yes, they could fire out of it, and people could fire into it.
Gotcha. Good to know.
Works for me.
Good to know. Okay, so first up, Molfin. After putting this cage around these individuals, you were actually the first to respond to what you see. You now see this individual has pulled both of these rapiers out in front of Callista, who has just bursted into pure flame and is standing next to Ashlyn as a huge fire elemental. It's almost like the rage has boiled up in her and just overcame her for that.
Her hands were like glowing, and it just slowly like crawled up her arms until her entire body was engulfed.
And technically, I'm going to say you guys are still on the back of the rock about 10 feet above the ground as it's just like trying to swing around.
So we've got the front group is all taken care of. So Molfin looks over at Diana. Diana, after this, we're going to go down to perhaps if you wish to jump off and aid Callista. But first, Molfin is going to reach out and looking at the group of 4 individuals in the back that he hadn't dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Going to pull out a small and small bit of fur, a small rod, and start rubbing it together and point down, and is going to cast Chain Lightning on the 4 individuals down on horseback.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
So it'll
Unlimited power.
and then 3 bolts leap from that first target to target 3 other people.
So if the first one hits, is that the way it
It's
works?
dex saves.
Saves, dex save. So here is the first dex save.
It's 38 damage on a hit, half damage on 38 on a fail, and half on a save.
Did you say
Not
these were
the horses.
you caged the front guys, right?
I caged the front, so this is going for the ones that are not caged.
Okay, gotcha. So the first one is a direct hit and starts to zap the electricity around it, and then you see these tendrils of electrical energy zap towards the other riders. So does it? How many does it target? All of them?
3 more.
3 more. So all of them. Yep. So here's the next dex save, which is going to fail. Then we've got a natural 1, which fails. And that's also a fail. So they all get electrocuted by this electric energy as Molfin's just on. Did you hop off the rock?
No, because I'm still heavy up. My plan is to. I'm assuming that the rock. Basically, my movement is the rocks
Yes.
where I'm flying it.
Basically, this
So
is
it's
happening
basically-
at the same time. You're like swooping around, and Molfin's just going unlimited power. just fries all of them.
And then basically swooping the rock down right behind on the backside of Callista, probably about 10-15 feet back from Callista,
Mm-hmm.
so that Diana can hop off if she wants to, and Molfin's going to be hopping off right now as well.
Perfect.
Lachlan's plan is, but
Yeah, that works. Yeah, you can tell you severely injured those individuals. They're smoking and they're blackened. You can see spots on their flesh that have darkened, and you can see some their veins like showing through some of their flesh, but they're still up. And the horses are freaking out too. Anything else, Molfin, or does that end your turn?
you know what, now that I'm on the ground, how far from actually no, I'm going to stay right where I am.
Okay, perfect.
Sort of like slightly behind Callista and Ashlyn.
Okay. At the end of Molfin's turn, Lucian is going to use a legendary action
Uh-oh.
as he takes one of his rapiers, and you hear like a strange word as he kind of tosses it up in the air, and the rapier begins to kind of hover and float next to him, just moving slowly. And he tosses it right next to Ashlyn, next to Callista. He just says, "Entertain her for a moment." And his dancing rapier is going to make 2 attacks against Ashlyn.
Bring it, pretty boy.
The first one is an 18 to hit, which will probably miss you.
Aha! Nope.
The second one is only a 14.
I scoff at him.
Excellent. And that ends Molfin's turn, as now this dancing rapier is gliding and trying to stab at Ashlyn as she's dodging out of the way, left and right. That brings us to the guards. The ones that are caged can still fire through, technically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have them roll at disadvantage to get through the cage, to kind of illustrate. Does that sound fair, Matthew, for what your spell allows?
I mean,
Because they can visibly see they're caged.
I don't know. It says immobile, invisible, cube-shaped prison. A prison in the shape of a cage can be the size. So it says it's invisible.
It's invisible. Oh, okay, so they don't know they're caged just yet.
Sure. DM inspiration.
Sure, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
inspiration,
I will
formal
say
word.
that
Yeah.
they start unsheathing weapons. Those 4 go to charge like towards you guys, and then their horses bump into something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each of those veterans there. They're going to make a saving throw to see if they remain on the back of the horses. So we're going to call this strength to see if they can hold on. So the first one is a fail. It's prone. Success on the horse. Fail. Fail. So 3 of them fall off the horses and are now prone. One of them's on the horse. The other ones, the ones that are not caged, that were electrocuted, are immediately going to pull out weapons, and they are going to charge you guys. And one actually rushes up towards... They kind of have the same sense that Lucian and Callista have unfinished business. So they focus on the rest of you. So there's going to be one of these individuals run up to each of you. And they have what looks to be... They're fighting two-handed. They've got a long sword and a short sword that they brandish as they jump off of their horses and begin to make their way towards you. So they can make 2 longsword attacks and 1 short sword attack against each of the rest of you. So we'll do this against Ashlyn first, since it'll take a miracle to hit her. So here comes the first one-handed longsword. Is a 20. Nope. A 20. Nope. And a short sword with the offhand, only a 16. So all 3 of those are dodged easily. She has a dancing rapier and now a veteran trying to attack her. We've got this one coming to Lachlan as it comes up, trying to attack. A 19 to hit Lachlan.
Yeah.
7 slashing on the first as it strikes true.
Ow.
Second one's only a 7, so you back up from that one and barely misses you. And then it takes an offhand swipe with a short sword with a 12 as you duck underneath the blade as it right over your head. This one comes to Diana with a longsword attack. 23 stabs you right in the gut for 11 slashing damage, Diana. Your second one is a 15. I think you're going to block that one with your shield easily. And then the offhand short sword coming back down for only a 13. Deflects. Sparks fly off of your shield, Diana, as you deflect that one as well. Molfin, here comes a longsword at you. A 22. That'll hit 10 slashing as you take a gash along your arm. And then it swings back the other way for only a 15.
Both of them will throw up shields as a reaction.
That bluish purple energy kind of knocks him off balance, and he lunges forward with you with his short sword, making one last attempt. Only a 19.
And that'll miss.
That'll miss too.
That'll go
off the shield. Deflects off. And that ends their turns, bringing us to Lachlan.
All right. The one that just hit me, I'm going to just kind of like look him in the eyes with a little bit of challenge as I take a step back away from him. See if he wants to try to get a swipe on me or anything.
Oh, so you're going to just back up?
Yep, just backing up.
Yep, he's going to go ahead and spend his reaction to make a quick longsword swipe. Only a 7. You got out of the way before it swiped through.
Fast. And then I'm going to cast one of my newer spells that I've picked up. I'm gonna cast this on Callista.
Okay.
Hopefully she's willing. Haste.
Sure.
Oh!
So basically she gets an extra attack every turn and more haste.
I love you, Lachlan!
Good luck with your duel, and then I run. I'm gonna use my movement and my cutting action, just dash, and like get away from get myself some clearance here.
Yeah, you run kind of into the field next to away from the battle a little bit. You're stepping in a bunch of mud and dirt from the rain from previous nights. Yeah. Is that the end of your turn?
End turn.
Okay. Lucian's gonna use the end of your turn. Lucian's gonna use a. Legendary action. To go ahead and do the dancing rapier again against Ashlyn. So here comes 2 dancing rapier attacks against Ashlyn. So the first one, only a 13, is going to miss. And a 23
Oh, that'll just hit.
That
right now.
actually stabs
Ooh.
into. For you take 11 piercing damage. Pretty. You don't know pretty. And he just smiles at you. And that ends Lucian's end of his turn, end of Lachlan's turn, bringing us to Lucian, who can make 2 attacks with his dancing rapier and 2 attacks with another melee weapon that he holds. So he is going to go ahead and use that dancing rapier some more. Actually, wait, what else does he have? Oh, he's got to hit first. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So he's going to do 2 more dancing rapiers against Ashlyn in his turn. 15's going to miss. 19 will miss. And this next attack, he's going to try to take his other rapier and kind of just drive it into the fire elemental.
+2 AC.
+2 to your AC. So 13's going to miss. And 11's going to miss. Why don't you take this like a true woman, like your true self? Stop hiding in the mask of your flames. Stop letting the hatred boil over into your whatever this is. Whatever you call this. It's ugly. And that is going to end his turn because he can't do that because he didn't hit. Okay. That brings us to Diana.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna jump off of the rock and I'm going to go get within range of like Callista and Ashlyn. Is Lachlan also gonna be somewhere in that range? I just need a 30 feet range.
I'm probably 50 feet away.
Yeah, he's like 50 feet away from you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When I get within 30 feet of Callista and Ashlyn, is anybody else close to me? Molfin, anybody like that?
Molfin's 10 feet.
Yeah, I'm only like 10 feet behind them.
Yeah,
So
I think everyone is close to you except for Lachlan.
Cool, that's perfect. I'll cast Bless on everybody who's within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice. So you guys feel the blessing of Elmater come across you as Diana begins to pray.
And now...
the blessing of
King.
slave labor.
Now you will get now you will have a extra d4. You guys are better at attacking now. You're welcome.
All right. Anything else that Diana wants to do?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. Perfect. That brings us to Ashlyn.
I will unsheath Legacy Blade,
Hell yeah.
and I will start taking swipes at the veteran because I'm like, Callista, you got this.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So you're taking the swipes of the veteran that's in front of you first.
Yeah.
Thank you, Victoria Brown, for the bits.
You Bit Fairy.
Bit Fairy is here.
Hey, BB.
Did you already roll? Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
Yes, that hits home for 11 points of damage. Oh, this one's looking rough as you take the blade and swipe it across his chest.
Not so good. 17.
17. Let me double check. That's gonna
But
be
You
close.
switch to a
Okay,
longbow?
that's like half that long though, but you can just let me see.
It would be a -1 because you have a +12, so it'd be actually a 16, right? His armor holds up, and your sword just rakes across his armor. That second one does not hit.
I'm gonna flurry of blows then.
Okay.
Oh, I keep rolling worse.
He moves his foot out of the way as you stomp the ground. A splash of mud flings up. But the poke to the eye, it definitely hits him. And that actually does gouge his eye out as he falls back into the wagon and then falls down onto the dirt.
Cool.
You'll have
That's
to do
what
that
his
for me
brain-
someday.
Teach me how to read. I'll teach you that.
Don't think she understood what I meant.
Anything else you'd like to do, Ashley? You have some movement. That's it.
Can I fly to the Lucian fellow?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
Okay, Ashlyn moves around to the back of Lucian.
Right, and that's it.
That's it. Okay. Let me see if he wants to do anything else here. What other legendary actions does he have? Okay. Fair enough. Seeing Ashlyn move into position behind him, he's going to use to spend one legendary action, his last legendary action of this round, to use his move ability, which allows him to move his speed without provoking opportunity attacks. And he's going to reshift himself around behind Callista so that Ashlyn is not behind him anymore.
Oh,
Damn him.
slippery.
So he's...
Does that put him between me and Callista, where I was behind her?
Well, he probably shift to the side, I would say, since if you were
Okay.
right directly behind her.
But yeah, like I'm right behind where her and Ashlyn were.
He's obviously trying to move into a more advantageous position for himself. He wouldn't put himself into that kind of predicament. This guy looks like he's had some kind of training. Callista, it becomes your turn.
I would like to use my natural 20 to punch him in the gut where he has numerously punched me. I'm going for mirror image of what he's done to me, and I'm looking him straight in the eyes as I hit him in the ribs with a natural 20.
Okay. Fair enough. Yep. Natural 20. That's going to hit. So you can roll your natural 20. She has expended the mighty natural 20. So I will take it off a Twitch there. Oops. I took it away and then gave it right back. There we go. Is that 14 damage?
Fire damage.
That's fire damage. Okay.
Oh,
He's
I
now,
forgot
on,
I had less.
he is
Right.
now on fire too, by the
He's
way.
on fire. Okay.
He's on fire
He's on fire.
from downtown.
He would have been on fire when he first struck out at me with a melee attack.
Oh, okay, so he's on fire. Okay.
Yep.
So I've got him on fire, and I've got your damage from that first, and I believe you have more attacks.
You said I have an extra attack, right?
Well, doesn't a
base?
fire elemental have
I get-
two
I get
attacks?
I get multi-attacks, so does that mean I get 3 attacks?
You get 3 attacks on him, yes.
Alright, so there's 2.
Because of Lachlan and his spell, yes.
21.
21. Let me double check something. He does have reactions. Let me double check this. So that's a 21. He can't do that one. He's gonna let it go. And
Alright.
you're gonna hit for 13 fire.
Yep. Hitting him in the ribs. I want to take the breath out of him.
More rib shots. Last
Shots,
attack.
shots.
For those of you who can't see that in Twitch chat, because it's amazing, that is a natural 20.
Oh my god.
She strikes true with this, and that is 18 points of fire damage.
Scary.
Oh, yes, you put a pounding on him, and now his noble clothings is starting to lick with red flame.
And he will take a D10 at the start of his turn.
D10 at the start. Fourth, and we're in the top of the next round. That means Molfin, you're up.
So Molfin is going to look at this individual who just charged up to him, actually.
What are you looking at?
Molfin is beginning to heal from the damage he just dealt you. Molfin's going to look up and, barely glancing over his shoulder at the 4 individuals within the cage.
You're terribly short.
You have one chance. Leave now, or end up like them. And Molfen is going to reach out and pointing at the 4 individuals within the cage and centering it within the 20-foot cage.
Mm-hmm.
Molfen is casting Cloud Kill.
You literally... You...
He's twisted. He's twisted.
You have them trapped in there.
And they can't leave.
And they can't leave for an hour. Oh, Jesus. Is this half damage on a successful save?
Yeah.
So when they enter it on the first time of their turn or start their turn there, con save. It takes 5d8 poison on a failed or half unsuccessful. Creatures are affected even if they try to hold their breath or don't need to breathe.
Oh my gosh. You only rolled a 17 on 5d8s? Really?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 7.
Oh, I got one of them.
Yeah, that one, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and make the saves now, because I'm gonna because their turn's next anyway. So that's Constitution saves for these 4 individuals. Fail. Fail. 21 succeeds. Fail.
Fail.
I don't know if you need to make it for the horses. They're in there too. But
I'm gonna I'll double check the horses, but I don't think I'm going to need to make the save for the horses. What's half damage?
Half damage would be, I guess, 8,
8?
9.
Yeah, they get to make the save. Wow, interesting. Let's see. Fail. Fail.
Fail.
Fail.
Oh no!
Success! One of the horses survives.
Killed 3 horses.
Yeah, you guys just hear the cries and neighs of horses as they slam onto the ground. As now inside this cubicle-like shape, there's this massive fog of this greenish smoke that just fills the place. You said they took 17 damage?
17 on a successful and 8 on a fail. I mean,
Opposite.
yeah.
Got it.
Opposite day.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. And only 8 on the fail. Got it. Yeah, you just hear coughing and screaming and gagging coming from that cube, 20-foot cube of now what looks to be like a green cloud filling it.
And then Molfin's going to look back at the individual in front of him. If you run away now, you'll probably survive. That'll end Molfin's turn.
Okay.
Trying to get this guy to run away from him.
So that happened at the veteran's turn is up. So that happened at the beginning of their turn. They took all that damage.
Yep.
So now, does Cloud Kill, is it like...
let me see if we can put the...
what does it do about, like, the terrain in that area? Does it make it to where they cannot see? Or
the area is heavily obscured.
heavily obscured. So they can see, but anything they try to do is going to be a disadvantage anyway. Gosh.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've been trying to find a way to make Cloud Kill a good spell for a long time.
You're welcome.
And you just did it for me. Thank you.
Oh, great. Now things are going to use it on us.
That was the combination that I've been looking for.
It works wonderfully because Force Cage is not concentration.
That's right. But it has to be a pretty high-level spellcaster to be able to do it.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, so they're going to stand while they're coughing. They're trying to get out. They can't get out, so they're just going to quickly load crossbow bolts and just fire haphazardly out of this thing, looking for any dark figures that they can see and just firing out. I'm going to say, Molfen, probably one of them is going to fire at you. There are 4 of them in there, so two of them are actually going to fire at Ashlyn, and one of them is going to fire at Diana. Since Lachlan is a little bit farther off, they probably cannot see him. Okay, so here comes some heavy crossbows as they come flying out. 1 to Molfen. A 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
8 points of piercing.
Or is it disadvantage?
Oh, wait, yeah, it's a 19. Does that still hit?
That actually, Molfen will burn his reaction and cast shields. No, it will not.
So it burns his reaction for this round and deflects it off a shield. One coming to Diana is only a 9. That's going to fly over Diana's head. Off into the distance, into the field. It lands next to Lachlan.
Oh!
And for Ashlyn, it's only a 10. And only a 12. So they go flying. One of them sticks into the actual wagon. Right beside Ashlyn. And the other veterans who are still around, there's one in front of, well, one is going to chase after Lachlan. So one kind of huffs it and has to use both its movement and action to get to Lachlan. So it's going to do that its turn. The other one is in front of Molfen. He's going to shift back towards Molfen and make its normal range of attacks. So 2 long swords, one-handed. A 12. An 18.
Not with shield.
Deflects with shield. And one last swipe with a short sword in the offhand. Comes across 22. That breaks through the shield for 9 piercing. But you take a shot right to the side. Diana, the other one that's still next to you, is going to do all of its attacks. 23 to hit Diana. Strikes over the shield and jabs her for 9 slashing. 7, she quickly gets the shield back up to deflect this one. And then a quick strike with a short sword, a 19 to hit?
That will hit me,
That does hit as well. So you take 8 points of piercing damage from the short sword as it rakes across your arm. And they are happy in the position that they're in. It brings us to Lachlan, who's got one of these guys chasing him out into the field.
Oh, that jerk.
Come back here. Where do you think you're going?
Far away from you, buddy. Has he caught up with me at this point?
Yeah, he's within 5 feet of you, but he couldn't attack because he had to use his dash.
Yeah, to get there. All right, I am going to cast Mirror Image.
As now there are 4 Lachlans.
Yeah. Jerk.
Wait.
So that's what I say to him.
Stop it with your foolish tricks.
Can't trick the trickster, buddy. And then I'm going to disengage and then run another 25 feet away.
Okay, so you just disengage and all 4 Lachlans running in unison away from this guy. And turn?
Yeah, turn.
All right, that brings us back to Lucian, who gets back all of his legendary actions at the start of his turn.
He takes 1d10 damage.
He takes 1d10 damage. Go ahead and roll your d10 for us.
Cook him right at the beginning of his turn.
3.
3 points? Where is the mouse? There it is. My mouse
Eaten by the cat.
My mouse disappeared. And now it won't let me click on Lucian's token. Oh no. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, computer in Roll20. As he continues to burn. Oh, you think these flames would harm this beautiful face? Try again.
So smarmy.
He is going to continue to attack. He's going to use his Dancing Rapier against Ashlyn again. So 2 Dancing Rapier attacks. A 17 is going to miss. A 16 is going to miss. And he takes his other Rapier and he tries to attack Callista again with 2 attacks. A 20 to hit.
Yep.
That will hit. Let's see how much damage that does. You take 15 piercing from this attack.
Is it magical?
It is magical, yes.
Okay.
But I think you dodge out of the way of the 12 as he
Yep.
tries to make another true strike. And he's going to do something on this. It says he has something called Unwavering Mark. Once per day. When he hits a creature with a melee attack, he can mark the creature till the end of his next turn. The effect ends early if he's incapacitated or dies. Basically, you have disadvantage on any attack rolls that don't target him.
That's fine. I am not the runner, buddy.
Like a duel.
And if you deal damage to anyone other than him, basically he can make like a free attack as a bonus action against you on his next turn.
Alright.
So basically, it's kind of like a duel kind of thing. You know, he's
Yeah.
dueling with you. If you focus on anyone else, he gets like cheap shots, basically.
Right.
And that ends his turn. As he's staying put, he's standing tall, and the flames are licking up his clothes and starting to burn a little bit more brighter orange as he stands there. And Diana, it's your go.
So the ones that are trapped in the box with the death cloud thing.
Yes.
I
don't know. You're making Molfin smile over there, so I don't know if this is a good thing.
Oh.
Let me just.
Dark side, we can rule Faerun as father and daughter.
I would like. Can magical things penetrate this shield or this box?
I believe it can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally it's like a cage. It's just they can't. There's no way for them to break through it. They have to use magic.
Here's the issue, Diana. Does your spell require sight?
Heavily
Components.
obscured.
Because they are heavily obscured. You can only see shadows and silhouettes of images in this cloud.
Well, this one's just an icon. But now I'm double thinking it, and I'm like, would Diana really just go and like burn a bunch of people trapped in a box alive? I don't
Well,
know.
Well, there's
Yeah,
also the
one
guy
right
right
ahead
in
of
front of you that's been smacking you around
Yeah,
too.
there's a guy right in front of your face trying, like, gashing you with his swords.
That's true. That's true. I'm gonna hit him with my mace. Thank you, guys.
So Diana hauls back with her mace and takes a swipe.
I forgot about him for a second.
He's kind of like, how could you forget about me? He's-
I don't know. There's more pressing things, man.
oh, yeah, you hit him directly in the chest with your mace.
Hey, can I spend another charge to I don't know, do more damage or like?
Yeah.
Is that not allowed?
You can spend it. Yeah, it happens after you roll. So, yeah, you can spend a charge.
All right, then I spend a charge to deal one more d6 radiant.
Okay, you can roll that d6.
A2.
Oh, you smack him, and as the radiant energy kind of explodes off his chest, he stumbles back a little bit, takes a knee. You can see that he's really hurt, but he's still standing in front of you. You think that's all I've got?
For your
I'm
sake,
sorry,
I
my
hope.
family are all assholes. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Callista, it's okay.
These probably aren't members of your family. They're actually just
No,
on the
but there are people
payroll.
hired by my
Yeah.
on the payroll. All the people of the house of the
Oh,
estate are all
Callista,
assholes.
I love my in-laws.
Let's kill them. Hey.
Yeah, let's kill him.
At the end.
That's actually. Never mind. I don't want to use a spell on that. Never mind. All right, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. At the end of Diana's turn, Aleutian is going to spend his legendary action to go ahead and do Dancing Rapier again against Ashlyn. As he goes to slam into her, 16 is going to miss.
Yep.
And 18. So she's like... It seems like the Dancing Rapier is starting to get frustrated. It's like,
Yeah.
Molfin's gonna look at the guy in front of him. I think they really are dancing together. This is getting ridiculous.
so that brings us to Ashlyn.
So I'm gonna. How far away is Diana from me? Like 15 feet? 20 feet?
Yeah, probably like 15 to 20 feet away from you. Yeah.
I wave.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to Diana's guy first and try to flank him and hit him.
Okay. That will hit. Yes. And as he's looking at Diana and he's coming at Diana saying, I'm not done yet, all of a sudden the legacy blade appears through his stomach, Diana. And he slides off of it and falls
Now
to
you
his
are.
death in front of you.
And then I'm going to run 55 feet over to the guy in front of Lachlan.
Yes.
Yes.
I actually jump back a little, like ah. Yay.
Yep. Ashlyn just like kind of appears next to you.
And I'm going to take a swipe at him.
Okay.
The other guy or Lachlan?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Oh!
Not a good roll, but that's okay.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, that's not going to kill him.
Okay, I'll take my martial arts thing to him too, so I'll finish.
Okay, so you get a martial arts, so you can hear him go, "Shah!" Lachlan, as he takes a swipe along his back, and that's going to hit. Go ahead and describe how you put him down, Ashlyn.
Well, I kick him in the shin, and he falls over, and it like hits his head on a rock, and he just like stays there. So-
Yeah, he just falls. You heard a snap when Ashlyn kicked him in the back of the knee.
Oh.
It did not sound pretty. You just heard him grunt, and then when he landed on the ground, he hit his head off of his stone. And his helmet, kind of that he was wearing, just rolls off into the dirt. He's done.
Bro.
And that's my turn.
All right. At the end of Ashlyn's turn, Lucian. You okay, guys? I'm getting real robot. Yeah, we lost all audio for a second.
I'm still here. I can hear you.
Oh, MG, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
hear
Discord took a poop.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, everyone just went roboty for a second. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, Discord was just having an issue. I think we're good now.
Discord and Discord.
That's my turn.
And turn, okay.
that's why it's called Discord.
That's why it's called
Yeah.
Discord. Lucian's going to spend a legendary action. And since Ashlyn moved away from his dancing rapier, what he can do with his dancing rapier, instead of attack twice, he can move it up to 30 feet and then attack once. So he's going to move it towards Callista, and he's going to attack Callista with the dancing rapier.
Callista.
So
okay.
here's one dancing rapier attack. That's a 26. As it drives into the elemental, dealing 15 points of piercing damage, which is magical.
Ew.
And that ends his turn, bringing us to Callista.
Cool. Let me fire elemental. 1. Oof. 11, I don't think hits.
11 is not going to hit.
Don't
You
forget
are
you have a
blessed.
D4.
You are blessed, but I don't even think that's going to work.
I don't even think that was
Okay.
worth. Would an 18 hit?
18,
Or do I need a D4?
I'll
do a D4.
Yeah, I would add the...
18 plus
Ooh.
4.
Oh,
So that's a 22.
22 to hit.
Dang it. He takes it.
I uppercut him in the chin for 12 fire damage.
12 fire damage. All right, he's going to
Has he
take
been
it.
taking his normal fire?
That's.
He seems to be
20
taking damage.
22 to hit again.
Dang it. Yes.
7 fire damage.
Another
and
7
I,
fire.
reach out specifically for his face because he's like, I'm too pretty, so I'm just going straight for his face with my hand. I'm like,
As
Not
as
the
the
glove.
flames
Like
like,
the glove.
what do you think you're doing, you imbecile? Stop it! As he looks at you, like smacking at his face, and he's starting to. You can see that he's starting to now worry about the flames, like licking up his clothes and burning the threads of his fine, noble clothing.
I yelled to Callista to save the gloves because they're really cool looking.
Fantastic. Anything else, Callista?
can I move out of the rapier? Like, if I were to move around him, would I still be in the melee range of the second rapier?
You can move around him away from the dancing rapier, sure.
I'm just gonna go behind him.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. All right, end turn.
Enter.
Wolfen is up.
We're gonna let the fates decide. Okay. How far is Molfen from that dancing rapier? I was right behind Callista. Oh, like
About
10 feet or so,
Yeah,
okay.
about 10 feet.
how high in the air is it? I think I could reach it.
Yeah. About 3 feet, 4 feet in the air.
Okay. Okay. Molfin's gonna walk over and try to grab it.
Okay.
What?
Just walking away from the guy on the ground next to him.
Okay.
That's literally not even paying him any mind, just looking up at the sword and just sort of be like,
If I'm right, that guy is he's still up.
yeah, he's still alive.
So he's gonna make a swipe at you as you move away from him.
Oh, okay.
10? Gonna miss.
Nope.
You jump over his blade. And you're going after the dancing rapier.
Yeah, I just want to walk over and see if I can pick it up.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Okay. $20?
It's in your grasp, but like a cowboy on a bull, it starts to just move itself all around. You have the handle, but you're being bucked around as this sword is just beginning to flail itself.
Alrighty then. And I'm going to look at the battlefield layout and pick a point. Actually, she moved this way. Is there a way that I can jump that I will be more than 30 feet, basically 30 feet away from everybody, off by myself?
You mean Misty Step?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Molfen is going to, keeping a nice firm grasp on his new sword, is going to teleport himself and his item 30 feet away from everybody.
Okay. So you teleport.
Yep.
You Misty Step 30 feet out in like a different direction. And you just reappear, and the sword is just still trying to buck you as you're holding on to it.
All right. I'm assuming it was my action to grab it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then that'll end Molfin's go.
Okay. That brings us up to the veterans. As Molfen has seemed to lasso himself a sword.
So they have to make another Constitution save for those in the...
Oh, yes.
That is 5d8. Okay, that's a little better.
That's better.
Whoa.
Oh,
Constitution, you said?
Constitution.
First is a fail. Second is a success.
Yep. Success.
Success.
Wow.
And a fail.
Fail.
So the middle two succeed. So 25.
So it's 12 in the middle two and 25 on the others. And I don't know if that horse that took half damage even needs to make it save this time.
That horse is dead. The middle
Horse meat
two
fits.
took how much damage? You say it was half?
Half would be 12.
Well, got you. Okay. As more coughing and screams occur from inside this force cage that has been gassed with terrible, terrible tear gas. Probably something much worse than tear gas. Happens. They are going to they're going to try to, now that they've basically figured out, like, they're just firing out of this thing. They can't seem to, they're trying to get out, but are panicking and are just taking panic shots out of this thing at anything they can see. The only person that's relatively close to them that they could be able to see would be Diana and the fire elemental, because Molfin has moved way off the other direction. Lachlan and Ashlyn are both far off in the distance with this one guy. So 2 are going to go to Diana with disadvantage, and 2 are going to go to the fire elemental Callista with disadvantage. So here comes heavy crossbows with disadvantage to Diana. 21 with disadvantage is going to strike Diana for 9 points of piercing. As this finds a gap. Surprise gap. And a 13 is not going to hit. She deflects that with her shield. 2 against Callista is only a 13. Misses the fire elemental, and a 16. That one misses.
Oh, actually, yes, that just hits.
Okay, so you take 4 piercing. These are not magical.
So I take 2.
You take 2. And you hear the last neigh of the one horse as it clatters to the ground in the fog. There's only one of these individuals left who was standing next to Molfin. Now sees Molfin standing 30 feet away from him with the dancing sword. And rushes and runs up towards Molfin. Hey, let go of that, you fool! And tries to attack Molfin.
Okay.
So 2 longsword attacks, a 19 to hit.
Use my reaction to cast shield.
She deflects it again. And an 8 is going to miss. And a short sword swipe, a natural 20. Gets through for 8 piercing damage as the short sword. You're focusing too much on trying to keep a hold of this blade. It comes and drives you right in the gut. And that brings us to Lachlan.
All right. Now that Ashlyn has so kindly taken the pressure off me, I'm going to line up for a shot against this guy that's harassing Gramps, and I'm going to fire at him with a poison arrow. I'm pulling out one of my poison arrows.
Poison arrow.
Quiver of Elona. Yep. So, this is a normal attack that I am doing here with my oath bow. 29, does that hit?
Yes, that hits.
Okay, and I've got Molfin there distracting him
You
too.
do.
So.
You absolutely do.
This would be sneak and poison plus my piercing.
Oh god. So Molfin, as he's driving the short sword into your gut, looking at you in the face, you are such a fool to think that you could. It just falls down in front of you.
I can't hear you anymore.
And there is a dead individual with an arrow through his neck, laying in front of you.
I had plans for you. Oh well.
Anything else, Lachlan?
End turn.
End turn. That brings us to Lucian, who gets all of his legendary actions back. The dancing rapier is just going to attack Molfin because it really hates him right now, and I'm going to give him disadvantage on these attacks as the dancing rapier is trying to stab him while he's holding on to the hilt. So
Stop stabbing yourself.
Stop stabbing yourself.
Stabbing yourself. Why are you stabbing yourself?
Wow.
So wait, that's the wrong thing. I clicked the wrong thing. I apologize. So here's the first attack. Is a 23.
That'll hit. Thank God for disadvantage.
Thank God for disadvantage.
Oh,
so you
geez.
take 9 points of piercing on the first one, and that's only a 10 on the second one.
So that one will miss. But let's see.
After it stabs you once, you pull it away and hold it at bay. 2 more vicious rapiers coming at the fire elemental.
And the cloud kill is gone.
Oh, so the cloud
Bless
dissipates.
and
no.
Cloud Killer gone.
Bless and Cloud Killer gone. As
Yeah, that's it. All I needed was a 10, but I'm not blessed, so I can't add this thing to it anymore.
Ah, yes, true.
Oh, that's-
Ugh. So 2 vicious rapiers coming at the elemental. 17. That will strike, and it will deal 13 magical piercing. And another vicious rapier. An 18 will strike as stabbing into this for 14 magical piercing. Oh, and I believe you need to roll a d10 because he's still on fire.
Yep. 7.
So he continues to burn. He doesn't seem to be... It seems like the armor is melting and the clothing is taking more of the hit on every burn. And that brings us to Diana.
Hello. So I holler at Callista. I'm like, can I hit him too? And I point at Lucian.
Mentally, I'm like, do what you need to do, but I'm focusing on him.
Okay, awesome. I just want to help her out a little bit, so I'm just gonna run up on him with my magic minis.
Okay.
It's 23.
Oh,
He looks at you running up and he's like, oh, look at this pretty one. And he tries to block it and you kind of move his arm out of the way and slam down on the like corner of his shoulder and his neck. Yes, you hit him.
Bitch. And I will spend 2 charges to do an additional 2d6 radiant damage and on a DC wisdom saving throw to see if he becomes afraid of me.
Oh, wisdom save. Okay. Wow. That only 5 bludgeoning, really?
Yeah, but then you throw in the other 2d6, so.
Okay, so you got 14 total damage. And here's his wisdom
Yes.
save. He's afraid of you.
Wait, is that it's a DC 12.
Oh, he's not afraid of you then, if it's a DC 12. Is that what it is?
It's a DC 12.
He doesn't seem to be too afraid of you. Diana.
That's fine. That's fine.
He looks at you and he's like, you are not intimidating, my little friend.
Okay, well, tell that to my mace. Thank you. And I'll use my bonus action to healing word myself.
Okay. As Diana begins to pray once again, healing up some of her wounds from the battle thus far. At the end of Diana's turn, Lucian's gonna make 2 dancing rapier attacks against Mulfin with disadvantage. Because that's what Mulfin does. A 13 miss, and only 11, so they both miss as they try to strike and jab at Mulfin once again, bringing us to Ashland's turn.
So I'm gonna be like, okay,
run 800 feet.
you wait here, and then I'm gonna run back and try to flank the Lucian with the fire elemental.
Where'd she go?
Oh, so you're gonna go flank Lucian?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to stunning strike him when I hit. So I gotta hit first and then stunning strike him.
Okay, so you are flanked, so you have advantage on your attack. Oh!
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
15.
15 points of damage as the blade
The
strikes
legacy blade.
striking
I'm
across his
gonna-
back.
Let's try to stunning strike him with that.
Okay, so,
So
yes,
that's a con save.
a con save, okay. Constitution saving throw is going to be a
Grit machine.
17.
All right,
Is that
that's okay.
that
So I'm gonna
succeeds?
try to hit him again. That succeeds. So
Okay.
I'm gonna try to hit him again.
Oh, it has to be a 17, so he barely succeeded. Trying to strike him again.
28.
28 is going to hit. Oh, 15 on that one, too.
And I'm gonna try to stunning strike him again.
Spending another key point for another stunning strike. Okay. He's going to make his con save. He tries. Oh, he definitely does
crap.
that one. Yep.
It's getting better. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a martial arts attack.
Okay. He is going to use his reaction to do what's called... Well, actually, that's a 28. So that's going to hit regardless. Go ahead and roll your damage because he's flanked. 12 bludgeoning
Cool.
as you slam into him with another massive punch to the face. What? What? As he looks at the blood starting to pour out of his nose.
No, don't get the gloves dirty. I'm gonna loot them off your dead body. Oh, Lachlan's rubbing off me.
You're awfully confident in your abilities to destroy me.
Yeah, I am. And so is she. And I point to Callista.
At the end of Ashland's turn, a legendary action is going to attack Mulfin twice again with the with the dancing rapier, both with disadvantage. 21
Yeah.
that's gonna hit, and the second one is only a natural 1/9. So you take a total of 12 magical piercing damage as it jabs into your back once again.
This is just gonna look ridiculous.
I have a feeling like somebody's out there with their iPhone, like taking video of this happening, and there's gonna be Mulfin's video is gonna go viral. Callista.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep hitting him. I'm going back for the ribs.
Fire damage. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah. Well, it has been on his turn, I believe.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so it's with advantage because he's flanked.
Yes, he is flanked. You and Ashlyn.
One.
And
Natural.
Diana.
Yeah.
Oh.
15 fire damage. Ouch.
2. Natural 20!
Oh.
He told the story.
That's
Chill.
30 total from 2 hits. If you make it 3 for
Triumph.
3.
Oh,
No,
that
it's
would've
only a
been-
17.
17. Let me double check that.
That would have been really good if it was 3.
He's going to use his reaction to do what's called Defensive Duelist. And he raises his armor class so that you don't hit him.
It's like shield.
Yeah, he basically uses his blade to kind of block your attack. You can see that he's starting to hunch over a little bit, and you can start to see some of his flesh burning under his clothes.
Callista's fire elemental form starts to turn blue.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, sweet.
End turn.
And turn at the end of your turn, the dancing rapier is going to make 2 more strikes against Mulfin with disadvantage. A 14, thank goodness it has disadvantage. That misses. And a 10 is going to miss as well. Bringing us back to Mulfin himself.
Bastard! And then Mulfin is gonna just reach and stop and think for everybody for a moment, and don't know if this is possible, but is going to try to shield Callista from this thought that he's sending out to the group, and just say, "Just remember, he is hers. He looks to be in rough shape. Perhaps we should minimize impacts." And with
I
that,
don't think Callista's paying attention, so it's fine.
She's just tunnel vision, like not thinking or looking
If
about.
a fire elemental could rage, she's raging.
and with that, Mulfin is gonna take one hand off of this rapier for just a moment, reach out and point over at this figure, and using 2 charges is going to cast Slow, targeting Lucian.
Nice.
And I'm going to burn my portent as I can see him, and he will roll a 2 on the saving throw.
Roll the 2.
Oh,
Oh.
so yes,
Oh.
he rolls a 2 on his saving throw. So what does slow do? He can only take an
So
action or a bonus
Speed
action.
halved,
Speed is half.
-2 to AC, and Dex saving throw.
Can't use reactions, so he can't use his
Can't
little
use his little
parry thing.
reaction parry thing anymore.
on its turn can use either action or bonus action, not both. And regardless of abilities or magic items, it cannot make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
So this is like Neo versus Agent Smith
Yeah,
now.
like all of a sudden, Callista in front of you, Diana and Ashlyn, as you guys are surrounding this individual, it's like his movement it's like you can foresee everything he's trying to do as his body is just moving slowly, and he's what?
Oh no.
What is happening to me? No, Josh. And he is slowed.
I kind of look over to him and they're like, is he normally like this? Too close to my head.
What was your saving throw for?
The hand.
Oh.
Oh god.
Yep.
So your next, so casting
My
that
next round
is up to me, huh?
I'm pretty sure. Yep. It's DC save demanding you commit an evil act.
You just flipped the dark side point.
That's right.
He did it. Oh no.
And that ends Molfin's turn, I believe.
Yep.
Bringing us to what's left of this crew.
Oh wait, there's no more. That's right there.
The four are still there. There's no more cloud, but the force cage is
still
still
trapped.
there. So they're still trapped. So they're just going to fire out of it. They can see now, and they can hit farther away with these heavy crossbows. So we're just going to spread the wealth around. One's coming to Lachlan. Here's the first to Lachlan.
Okay. I'm going to see
14.
what happens to my mirror images. Oh, that will... I'll make sure.
It's only a 14.
My
though.
mirror images... Yeah, my mirror images don't catch it, but it misses me.
Okay, so
So, we're good.
just misses wide.
Yeah.
Another heavy crossbow. This is going to Diana as they're trying to fire towards their friend. Get them away from him. 16 to hit. That misses as she deflects it with her shield. This one's coming to Callista the Fire Elemental for a 16. That strikes for... This will only do 2 piercing to you. And one to Ashlyn. Only a 7. That goes
Jesus,
flying.
poor guy.
They're panicking now within the force cage and can't do anything. They're crying out, "We're trapped! We're trapped! We can't help you! Lucian, get out of there!" And that ends the veteran's turn, bringing us to Lachlan.
All right, I'm going to reach into my quiver of Elona here, and I'm going to pull out one of my arrows here that the King of the Frozen Far left us.
Okay.
And I'm going to aim at basically, I'm aiming for the guy that hit me, and then whoever's nearest to him, I'm going to shoot a splitting arrow.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Like Men in Tights, like...
Okay, so you fire, and as you fire one arrow, it splits
see.
into 2. So you have to make 2 attack rolls.
Okay, and these are regular. Oath bow.
Oh,
wow.
Oh man.
So one would do 7, one would do 16 as it was.
So, yeah. You strike true. They hit.
Oh.
The one kind of teeters back a little bit, now having an arrow in his chest. But it's still up. The other one looks very hurt. Stumbles back a little bit to one knee. It's like, ah! And then you see him like break the arrow and toss it down to the side. And then just like pants heavily as he looks like he's very badly hurt.
Take that one and turn.
And turn. That's cool. That
Oh,
brings,
Sarvin.
that brings
Oh,
us
Sarvin.
to Lucian's turn, which he gets back all of his legendary actions at the start of his turn.
He takes 5 damage.
Takes 5 points of fire damage as he continues to burn. And he is slowed. So that means he can either take a bonus action or an action. And he can only attack once, I believe, if he attacks.
Yep.
Oh, goodness gracious. He's going to use his action to douse the flames. And then he sets down the rapier, sticks it into the ground. Is this the kind of revenge you want? And he holds both of his hands up as if he's giving up. And that ends his turn. And brings us to Diana, who's standing right next to this individual.
That changes things, or does it?
No, it doesn't.
Diana will run, not run, but she'll like move more towards the bunch that are all in the invisible box.
Sure.
And speaking to them and the other lackeys, I will say, listen, your leader, Lucian, is clearly defeated. It would be best if you all lay down your arms and never pick them up for such a dishonorable man ever again. I will heal you all, and if you just agree to lay down your arms. Thank you. End speech.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, Diana.
Oh, with advantage. Thank you.
Nice.
821.
They all begin to lay down their crossbows. And they get down on their knees inside the cage as they're kind of like basically getting on their knees. They're like almost like in the middle of all these dead horses that are inside there. Which probably isn't the best thing. And whatever. Fine. Just don't let that one. And they all point towards Molfin. Don't let that one do anything else.
I will do my
Or
best.
that one is one's like bleeding.
Oh, no.
One's like bleeding out of his arrow wound, or the other small one over there. He's a good shot.
I will do my absolute best. That one is an uncertain element.
All right. Now in Diana's turn.
Yes, it will.
Ashlyn.
Oh crap.
Oh crap.
I'm gonna ask Callisto, what do you want to do with him? Telepathy or not, I'm just gonna be like, what do you want to do with him?
Leave him to me.
Alright, I'm gonna punch him one last time though, okay? Okay.
Non-lethal, because I want the last one.
Okay, non-lethally punching him in the face.
Okay. Taking a punch. I believe his AC is reduced by 2. Yes, that hits. You punch him in the face, and he looks like he's about to pass out.
Save those gloves. And I'm gonna run over to. Oh no, I shouldn't run over to.
I'm unarmed.
I don't know that.
I lay down my weapon. You
And I'm just gonna
busted
do that.
my beautiful lip.
Good. And I'm gonna start taking the gloves off him.
Okay, you just start taking his gloves off. Okay.
And that's my turn. I'm gonna stand there.
All right, Callista, you're staring at him as Ashlyn is taking his gloves off. It's strange, for as many times for as long as he's been on fire, and for as many hits that he's taken, to look as good as he still does, even though looks like he's obviously about ready to pass out, is odd.
I'm going to reach out with my hand and grip his throat and turn back into myself, but my hand is still on fire.
Okay.
It's your turn to suffer. You have two options. You tell me what Boris and Grandfather are planning, or this death is going to be the slowest, most excruciating thing you will ever experience. I've been known to kill a bitch and bring her back 3 times. So don't try anything nasty, because you haven't met nasty until you've met me. I'm not that little girl anymore, Lucian. What's your choice?
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh, I'm not good at intimidation.
But that was pure intimidation right there. I can't think of a skill that fits that better.
19.
As you're holding him, I'm gonna take the battle music off right here, because you guys are basically out of encounter. Do I got some mysterious kind of dark music or something? It's something creepy. I don't know. Just like, how about Dark Times? That sounds like a good name for a soundtrack. That's good enough. He looks at you. You can tell there's fear in his eyes. Well, it's him. And he points to Molfen. Robert Horncrow wants him. They were gonna use you to get to him.
Love, huh?
Love. Stupid thing it really is. Numbs your emotions. Why? Yeah. They'll find you, Callista. They will find you. He will get what he wants. You know it.
Before I do.
And Lucian goes limp in your grasp.
I drop him.
Flops to the ground. You hear the other guards. What did you do?
She killed him. It's okay. Well,
Molfen, what spells do you have left?
Let's see. I have.
Oh no.
What's your biggest, hardest, damaging spell?
Oh no.
Let's see that I have access to
Zarbies.
cast right now. Well, let me just look in here. Let's see. I used most of my big guns already.
Do you have an
Yeah,
do you have an
not really.
AOE like static shock or whatever you call that damn spell or whatever? Yeah.
Nothing that's readily, nothing that's prepared that I could cast right now. Biggest gun I've got left would be, actually from the hand would be Finger of Death.
Okay. What's your biggest spell you got that's not from the hand?
Just literally all I have left for damaging spells are cantrips.
Okay.
Ooh.
That one that just spoke, what are you doing? You shoot him with a firebolt.
Okay.
And he just goes flying back behind one of the dead horses. And give me a really nice, dark, evil Molfen laugh. And then you snap out of it. And there's still 3 other damaged guards that are like, we surrendered.
Can I look at Molfen and be like, yeah, Molfen, they surrendered. What the hell?
What was that, Gramps?
Is Lucian dead? Or did I just knock him out?
He looks like he's not breathing on the ground.
Ooh, can I loot his corpse? Oh, that's not right. Lachlan should.
Can I-
No,
It's
Callista
not yours,
does.
it is
Yeah,
Callista's.
Oh, sorry, Callista. Do you want these gloves?
No. Are you thinking that that's the gauntlet that the other one
No,
had?
no, they just.
Oh, okay.
Michael's in fancy leather gloves.
Like the yeah. No, you can keep those.
Okay, no, if I had the gauntlet, I'd start smacking his body with it.
No, that's a different guy.
Wait, and they don't have the gauntlet anymore. Callista took the gauntlet.
Oh yeah, he took the gauntlet.
In your vision, Molfen, he had a new gauntlet. When what you could see. So he had another one made.
Idea.
And it's
Can we get the other gauntlet from him and smack him with both gauntlets in the head? Anyway,
I
sorry.
want a fancy sword that was stabbing me in the back.
Lachlan, do you need a fancy sword?
I mean, maybe. Is it dangerous?
I'm assuming it's no longer flailing around trying to kick me off
Nope,
it now
the
that
minute Lucian fell down, the sword just gave in. It would be, if you weren't holding on to it, it'd just be laying on the ground.
Maybe we should do some research and see how much of it was him and how much of it was the blade itself.
Well, I'm just gonna walk over and sit down in front of the cage and take a bit of a rest. You know, for reasons.
And I start going through Lucian's body.
Okay. You go through his belongings. Ashlyn, you get a nice set of leather gloves. Noble looking gloves. Lucian has obviously the 2 swords that he was using look to be very nicely made. And the one obviously has some kind of properties that allow it to act on its own accord. You'd have to spend some time with it to discern the exact qualities of it. He also had just like a basic decorative noble looking scimitar on him and a pair of hand axes in his boots. He also has a ring on his finger. And the armor is wearing seems to have some sort of like elven designs underneath his clothes. It's almost seemed like he was wearing some sort of chainmail underneath his noble, these noble leather coverings that he was wearing, which was why the flames weren't really bothering him that much. They were burning through the noble attire, and he had armor underneath, which looks to be of some accord there. He has that obviously that ring, and when you look at his long hair, you notice there is an interesting golden circlet around his head that you didn't notice before.
I will take that.
As you remove it from his head, his body before you begins to transform. The image that you see doesn't appear like that perfect, attractive human individual that you saw before. His hair begins to turn brown with gray streaks. He starts to show wrinkles on his face. His features change. His nose is a lot larger. His eyebrows thin. His eyes seem to be off-shaped a little bit. It seems that this circlet that was placed upon his head was changing or altering his look.
Pathetic through and through. I'm gonna take one of his rapiers and just stab it through his gut, just out of pure anger.
Yeah, easily enough. Right through him into the ground. He also did have a pouch on him that contained probably like his 25 platinum
Take that.
and 100 gold.
Is there anything in the fancy carriage?
You look through the carriage. There is nothing of... It looks like he has like a backpack in there that has like some basic adventuring gear. You see like a bedroll and just some basic, like an explorer's pack, so to speak, inside, but nothing else of anything of importance within the carriage.
Plus, did you want to leave the carriage on fire, or should we keep it for transportation purposes?
Did you search the carriage? Is there anything in there?
No, nothing in here except this old explorer's pack.
We don't need it.
I imagine he had his name embroidered on it. You know, it says Lucian.
Yeah, why don't we light it on fire? Because it has your family's crest on it. We can have a nice big bonfire tonight. Keep toasty warm all together. It'll be really fun. We can burn
I
marshmallows.
use produce flame and just light a bonfire on it.
On the whole cart?
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, the horses are still attached, so they're probably going to just...
Oh no!
They're going to freak out and then take off with a burning carriage.
No. Callista's still a druid. She would not touch the horses.
All right.
No.
You can detach the
She's
horses
angry
and
with
then light it on fire if you'd like.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. As you guys look over at the other 4 dead horses.
Still held within that invisible cage.
Held within that.
I harvest them for griffin food.
That's actually a good idea. Very
I was
good
just
idea.
thinking that too.
How long is a short rest? Would I be able to get a short rest in before that cage drops?
I would say so, yeah. You guys are going to take a short rest right here in the middle of the road where...
Sure.
Or we just had a lethal battle.
a lethal battle. This is like a normal trade route in and out of Waterdeep, so...
Blood everywhere, arrows, scorch marks.
We have to deal with the ones still in the cage. I can deal with them in a short while.
What does he mean, deal with us? What do you...
Nothing. He
What is
doesn't
it?
mean anything. I'm healing them with mass healing.
Oh, was it...
Diana, why are you healing them? It'll just make it harder when I kill them in a moment.
What are you... We surrendered!
Nobody is killing them.
Like,
These are misguided people who are trying to create a new life where they don't serve assholes.
Oh, so they're
We have a
converting away from Ilmater.
They're gonna what?
They're converting away from a Church of Ilmater.
Okay. They were never in the Church of Ilmater. They were with Horncrows or whatever. So.
Who was working with the Church of Ilmater and selling slaves?
Who was working with a Vecna guy? We're not getting into this.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Do we know like if these guys are very loyal to this family or if they're just mercenaries?
Do I recognize any of them, or are they all new faces?
You don't recognize any of them.
I don't know. Probably hired for this.
Yeah, exactly. That's... Yeah, we're just hired.
Insight check.
How much?
Yeah, go ahead.
How much
Yeah, that's what someone who's not hired would say.
You can make an insight check. Anybody who'd like to.
Very good.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you get the vibe that... You both get the vibe that these guys are just hired mercenaries. Hired to do a job. This is what they get paid to do. This is what puts food on the table, so that's what they do. Just doing their job.
I rather have an idea.
Oh.
We really only need one of them to make their way back.
What does he mean? What does he mean? One of
No,
them?
we promised all of them.
All three
that
of
they
them are
would
looking at
live.
each other.
Could we let them go
I
if they
don't
kick the
care
guy's
what you do with
corpse?
the others as long as they can't make their way back to the Horncrows.
Why would they go back to the Horncrows? They no longer work for them.
They
How long
failed
are
their
they on
mission.
retainer?
Horncrows. Maybe
Exactly.
Yeah.
What if they didn't?
they failed their mission.
Correct.
Oh, if they went back and said they got us or something. Or...
What if they
I have a better
truly believed that happened? What
But
if
then
they
they
knew
weren't.
in their mind that it was
That's
true?
so molten.
But then
Dolphin?
they wouldn't have a new life.
I use alter self and make myself look like Lucian.
Ooh.
Okay. Callista becomes Lucian.
It's really hard not to stab you right now. I don't even know which, I hardly know which end of the point you wanted here. The only reason I know it is because it's covered in my blood.
I
Okay.
look at the three of them and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I tried.
Wait, what do you mean you tried? What's happening? What are you talking about?
You'll live.
Why? How
You'll
did
live.
she turn
Don't
into
worry.
Lucian? That's just.
You'll live. Two?
Molfen points at the one in the middle.
Wait, why is he pointing at me? Why are you pointing? Put your hand down.
And then look at in his mind says to him, I'm going to alter the individual's memory of what has happened here.
Do it.
Lucian was successful. All other groups were defeated. And, well, I should say, no, what's your play, Callista? How do you want to... This can get you in, but how do we get the rest of us?
Seeming.
We could be the mercenaries.
I was gonna say, do they know what we look like? We could pretend to be mercenaries.
I gesture at all the dead bodies on the ground.
We have costumes.
It,
Are you sure? Troop? Like,
Stormtroopers.
Lachlan, well, it would take... Bloody hell.
Or do you need a proper rest before we do this?
I do.
I would need more time to properly be prepared. I mean, if we kill all three of them, I've got enough oomph left for one casting. So I can either alter one of their memories, or I could alter the four of us to look like others.
like alter one's memory, send him back and say, hey, Lucian is coming with Callista, and then
Lucian, no, if
Tomorrow,
Callista is Lucian, then who would Lucian be bringing back? I mean, unless we make Diana
One
look
of
like Callista.
Make me Lucian. I'll be Lucian.
Well, he did say that Lucian was the talker.
I do be talking.
But my concern...
I do be talking.
Did I get the impersonation of watching them? Did anything that they were wearing or any items I saw around them give me the impression that either of these individuals were arcane practitioners?
There was... It was strange. The two that were flanking the conversation looked to be like heavier bodyguard type weaponed out individuals. Robert had some kind of rod sitting on the table in front of him, and leaning up against the table next to him was a broom.
Okay.
The individual across had the gauntlet, but you didn't see anything else that would spark anything from him.
And given he didn't use anything when Ashland punted him in the head, I doubt he's
That's
got
right.
any skill.
That's right, MG. He's a janitor.
Okay, we would have to... Basically, we would all have to basically room together underneath within the dome in order to prevent scrying with Lucian's body.
Ew.
This way, if anyone attempts to scry on it, they see a dome that appears to be... You can make it bright purple. Make it obvious. So there is a conversation going on, but they cannot get the sensor within to see the ruse.
Okay.
So we're going to get into a dome with a dead body. We're going to be shielded from scrying with a dead body. Then one of us is going to look like the dead body, but he's going to be alive. And we're going to sneak in with our three captured mercenaries. And we're going to sneak attack the Horncrows. Is that what's happening?
Callista, what's your play in bringing it? Mind you, Molfen is thinking all this so they don't hear it.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're
thinking this. I totally thought that.
What's your play in going in as Lucian? Isn't your grandfather looking for you?
He is. But I don't want to give him what he wants. I want to backstab him. I'm not going to be... I'm not doing a fair fight. He wasn't fair to a child. Why should I give him that option?
I'm not insinuating we give him a fair fight by any stretch of the mean. But if we are sending back a message that Lucian was successful to buy us time to be properly prepared, or do we send one back saying that we have captured Lucian, and then all of a sudden somehow Lucian escapes tomorrow?
That's also another way of doing it. But they don't just want me, Molfen. They want you. And your hand.
But they can't possibly be that upset that I stole it from them. I mean, they locked it in a temple.
Lucian said they were trying to use me to get to you. They don't care about me. This isn't about me. It's never been about me. They don't give a fuck. They want that magic hand that makes you go crazy. They don't care about anything else. These are not people that can be reasoned with.
So you want to stab them with your own base then?
And we go into that noble's home.
The problem is...
And we give them exactly what they want. You and me.
I don't like going into Waterdeep to do this, though. I would rather them come to us.
How do we force
I don't want them to spin this. We might be the heroes of Faerun for now, but if we go in to a noble's estate in the North Ward and blow shit up, as we are one to do, Waterdeep is not going to want it.
Can you imagine the Waterdeep Gazette when that happens?
They've already doxed us. Like...
Fake news! Fake news!
You may have a valid point. You are the heroes of Faerun. I am not.
Oh dear.
Molfen, we don't want to perpetuate this. It's just going to cause us more problems with the LA down the road.
Yeah, we're trying to.
There is a giant
Wait, you're-
statue right now in Daggerford screaming that I am murdering children and throwing puppies and kitties out of windows. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Am I trapping horses in prisons with poison gas clouds?
Yeah, you kind of
Accurate.
cornered yourself.
Accurate.
This is going to be perpetuated. Because the people behind it, the people who placed this in that location, who took it upon themselves. Why did the Lord's Alliance want it in the first place? Why get involved with the Horncrows to place it within the temple? Why was the temple selling slaves through the Horncrows? There's many questions that Daggerford must answer for.
And many that the Church of Elmater needs to answer for as well.
But I worry the only ones we can obtain the answers from would be Horncrow, Delphin, or Lady, whatever her name is.
Duchess Morrowind or something?
Or Dorn.
This is, oh, bloody hell. How much longer? I have a meeting with him. I think I only have a few days left before I have to make that journey.
I think it's like 3 days.
We have 3 days.
So we need to lure the Horncrows out of the city.
But
Preferably.
I don't...
Then I would say the capturing Lucian angle.
Yeah, I think I also agree with capturing Lucian, telling them that we have Lucian, and if they want him back, and if they want me or you, they're gonna have to come and get us. Because we have a long list, and we can't just wait in line. Like we don't have time to be sitting here waiting for them to come to us. Like this is, we have other shit we're dealing with. I want to just like, I just want to murder them right now.
Done.
At the very least, tell them we have Lucian. And then we can take a rest and they can figure out where the hell they want to go.
Good idea.
As,
Oh my god.
as you command. And Morphin will cast Sending using his last third level spell slot.
Zos just got a look on her face like she has an amazing idea.
I don't have an amazing idea. I had a startling realization. Delphin is in the Lord's Alliance, and he's investigating the Temple of Elmater, where the Hand of Vecna was, right? But he was in cahoots with the Hand of Vecna, and so was the lady. So it's not an investigation; it's a cover-up.
Ooh.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna get us all
Welcome to the
on
conversation, Diana. It's nice you find-
I'm gonna get us all on the rock and start flying east, and just get everybody on so we can have at least a short rest on the rock.
Sure. Well, I would say probably if you're flying, you'd probably have to fly and then touch down and just like get a place where you can chill out. Because I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to take a little bit. You're not going to be able to rest while holding on to this massive bird.
That's true. Yeah, I'm just gonna fly us out away from our house.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Bring his body with us just to be safe.
You're taking his body. What are you doing with the other two that are still, or the other three that are still alive?
If everybody else is going on the rock, I can go with them, like walking to wherever we're going. No. I can like monitor them. No?
That rock can fly pretty far, pretty fast.
Where are we going on the rock?
Are you comfortable with this?
I have no mercy for this family.
Morphin looks over. Synaptic static.
They all like reach up and grab their heads, and you watch as blood kind of starts to drip from their ears and their noses, and they slam to the ground hunched over these dead horses. Completely motionless.
Problem solved. Bring the body.
I promise promised them that nothing would happen to them.
Did you promise them that you would not hurt them?
I said that
And you
nothing
kept
would
your
happen
promise.
to them.
It'll be fine, Diana. It's okay. They wanted to
sorry,
kill
Diana.
Callista.
But
They
when we
wanted to
deal with
kill
these people,
Callista.
if we show a shred of mercy, they're gonna see that as a weakness. They'll use them against us. They had information on how we fight. They would use that. And they would use that against you. If they get any inkling that I have feelings for you, it's over. They needed to die.
And now their brains have been liquidated.
No. We don't have to think about that too hard. All right.
So bring the body this way. If they scry on it, we can truss it up and make it look somewhat presentable.
So you guys are bringing the body upon the back of the rock, and you guys are flying out east of Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
You're just finding kind of like a secluded area along a hillside that's covered in trees and forest. Yeah, easily enough.
And while flying, Molfen will send a message to Horncrow.
Okay.
Your boy was quite talkative. Understand you're using Callista to reach me. We have him. Let's discuss terms for his release.
You get a response back. Name your place. Name your time.
So flying over Molfen will probably wait till we get there because I can't do crap right now.
So yeah,
They can wait. They can wait for our reply.
Oh wait, but I can think. Still have that up for another few moments at least. But he responded he is interested in meeting for release for Lucian.
Are we still setting up the dead bodies?
I think you guys
Or
left.
whatever
You only
it is
took
that
the
you
one
left.
dead body. You left everybody else. You have horses that you've set free, I believe.
Yep.
You have a pile of dead horses with dead mercenaries lying all around, and a burning wagon cart. There on the side of the road.
On the main road, though, not on our road,
Yeah,
right?
on the main road. Yes,
With a large safe dropped in front of it.
with a large safe,
Oh yeah.
massive
We
safe
should probably take that
in the
safe
intersection.
Some party of level 1 adventurers is gonna see that and be like,
What? Let's turn around. Let's
"We're
get to
down
our
here."
I know what this is goblins!
The goblins must have dropped this from the sky.
I walk over to the bodies of the mercenaries whom I failed, and I want to say like a quick prayer over their souls and that they find peace in the afterlife. And I'll say, I'm sorry that I didn't keep my promise. I had faith in you guys. Rest in peace. And I'll dip.
There is a sense of peace that overcomes you after this prayer, Diana. It's peaceful. And then we do like a quick cut scene to a massive statue of Molfen in the middle of Daggerford. And it's pointing north. You will all rot if you don't defeat the evil Molfen. He is the wretched one of Faerun. He will consume every one of you if you don't strike him down with all your power and might, send your bravest heroes, for you must kill him. He cannot withstand your numbers. But if you sit here and hide yourself in fear, he will corrupt the north and take it over. You will all be his plunder. And you will never see the light of better days, as darkness will fall upon Faerun. And then it does this, the quick swipe back to you guys, flying on the back of the rock.
Are we the baddies?
We're the bad guys now.
I think we might be the baddies.
And you got like, there's like a group of level 1 adventurers in Daggerford looking up at this statue going, that's it. That's the one. That's
I cannot wait for that day.
Oh dear.
That's ecstatic.
Level 5 adventurers come up to find us. Look at that! His generals! He has minions!
Did you guys make your way out of the edge of Waterdeep? You guys have found a place to set up a temporary camp. What would you guys like to do here?
I want to pull out those books from his safe. I want to know what the hell.
Molfen will hand Callista the ledger.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first one I was looking at. This has all the information on the back for Dawn and the other one.
Yep.
Pulls out the second book. We'll hand that to Diana. No idea what the second one is.
This is a black leather book that he hands to you, Diana. And you begin to open it up. And this is another type of ledger. But this is the secret of the Horncrow's fortune.
I look over her shoulder. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I hold it up so Callista can read it.
It is a bunch of transaction accounts of slaves being transferred. Apparently the Horncrows have been trafficking people to Waterdeep, to a family called the Massillon family, which you, Callista, would recognize as the people, the Gauntlet Man.
Ooh, we don't like him.
Apparently this has been going on for quite some time, and there is a full book of ledgers of interactions and transactions between the Horncrows and these individuals that they were getting. Most recently, it didn't start out this way. The Horncrows were really kind of subtle about it, but in their sort of blackmailing of Dorne, it got to be a little bit more abundant. They had access to new individuals because the Temple of Ilmater cares for the unfortunate, the individuals who can't take care of themselves.
For the people that society wouldn't miss if they went missing.
Exactly.
Yeah, the misfits.
So these misfits have been passed on and trafficked. And there is also information that not only do they get information, and one of them is including possible whereabouts of Callista Horncrow from this family in Waterdeep, which you guys also find in the Black Notebook, that there are several transaction accounts where the Horncrows have hired bounty hunters to try to find Callista, but have been rather rendered unsuccessful. You also see that there is transactions accounts of these individuals going from not only Waterdeep, but also to Yartar.
Bloody hell.
And also,
Slave.
what they also get in return is prestige in Waterdeep. See, the Horncrows are trying to outgrow Daggerford and move into the noble ranks of Waterdeep. And this Massillon family has been helping them to do so as long as they were willing to offer them these pieces of merchandise. And the very back of it says that they are hunting drow. In specific, the Zalaran family. And in specific, your father.
Oh my god! Duh!
Because, well, actually, that wouldn't be in that book. That'd be in a different book. So, who are you handing the red book to, Wolfen?
Nobody.
Nobody?
He's reading it.
Okay, you're keeping the red book?
The red, yeah, that red book with the emblem that Wolfen has emblazoned on his mind.
Mm-hmm. This is in red leather. Red leather. I can't talk. You see that engraved cover with the hand and the eye in the front. This is a personal, religious, devotional of Lord Robert Horncrow. It contains information stating, and you can see over the course of these like journal entries, Robert Horncrow was spending time beneath the Temple of Elmater with this artifact. And over the course of time, this artifact began to change him. And he became a worshiper of the Whispered One, Vecna himself. And in this journal, you begin to see that he's devoted his life to Vecna and Vecna's return to the material plane, to his ascension to godhood, and to have everyone serve under his direct order. There's a note that believes that protecting the hand is of utmost importance for the Horncrows, and finding the other elements of Vecna are the goals of Robert Horncrow. Dorn believed that there are other parts of Vecna, including the eye, still somewhere out there. Not sure how to find them, but he notes that the possible other parts of Vecna that remain, other than the eye, are the foot, the ear, and the heart of Vecna. And he believes, from what these notes say, that if they were to find the legendary sword of Kas, these parts would tremor in fear and cause a ripple that would cascade among the planes to help others to lead them to it. And as you reach the back of the book, there's a chain with a key attached to it. And the key has that same symbol. The hand with the eye.
Huh. And it's just a single chain, or is it like a necklace chain?
It's like a necklace chain, like somebody could have worn around their neck.
Often rips it out of the book, puts it on, and tucks it into his robe.
Can I look through all three of these books? I'm looking to see if it goes back to when Mom was still alive. Was he doing this shit when Mom was still alive?
When you look through that and you kind of you see something falling out of one of the books. And there is it looks to be hand-drawn photograph that falls out of one of the books. There's an old-timey looking photograph of Robert Horncrow, much younger, with his wife. And in the arms, what looks to be your mother, Erica Horncrow. In much happier, simpler times. But Callista, from what you can as you're going through this, from what you can tell, this has been going on for quite a while. Because those individuals that were at your house that you recognized from before you left, they were probably brought in as part of this. Maybe they weren't ones that got shipped out. They were ones that they decided to keep.
When it comes to them hunting drow, are there any names that they've mentioned, or do they just say they've killed drow?
No specific names.
Okay, but they're just hunting for Dad.
They're just hunting, yep.
So any drow.
And from what you can tell, the only name they have is your family's last name. They don't have any first names to go off of. But basically, from what you guys are reading, it doesn't matter. If they see them and they're a threat, they're going to terminate them.
Two birds, one stone.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, look, there's a Lawrence in Menzoberranzian.
So he's been dealing with this Vecna thing since I was little. Like, since I was there, he was doing this shit.
You're not sure about the Vecna thing. You know about you're
Okay.
sure about like the trading of artifacts and probably a little bit of the slave trade, but as this thing became more apparent, probably within the last couple of years of you being there, that's when it really started to pick up, because they had an inn because of the blackmailing.
Interesting.
4 more pieces. Eye, ear, heart, and foot.
Why an ear?
Why an eye or a hand or a foot?
Why a
Senses,
foot?
right?
Well, one would assume to turn sideways and insert rectally into your opponent.
Yeah. Run fit.
Brony.
Goodness. Where's the foot of Vecna? It's about to be in your ass, bud.
Yeah, it's gotta be up
You
his butt.
smell.
Where's Red Foreman? Where's Red Foreman when you need him?
Wow. Wow.
Oof.
Sorry, you couldn't help it.
We went there.
That's
We
funny.
went there.
And there's this, and Muffin will sort of pull the key out a little, and for those who didn't notice it. It was in the book, and I
What
don't
is that?
know. And once I've had a decent rest, I have that spell I learned that will give me information on an item,
Oh.
Oh.
but I can't prepare it until the morning.
Mm.
So this will have to wait, but this will stay with me.
Why don't you not wear it until you find information on it? Because it might be like, really bad or something like that.
You mean it might take over my mind and make me throw flaming darts at people in cages?
And
Exactly.
melt the brains of innocent, yeah.
I would just like to point out I was completely within my own cognition when I exploded their brain.
Yeah,
Even worse.
I don't feel very good about that.
They needed to die. Callista knows it. I know it. You
I'm
people
in denial about it.
But I don't want to Their loyalty could have been bought, but I don't want to talk about that. They sold slaves.
We could take the risk of it.
We've done the same thing before. You know?
Horncrows.
For the greater good.
The Horncrows need to die. That's not a
Yes.
question.
All who serve them need to die.
If they cannot be reformed,
Matrons, cooks.
maids,
Drivers.
Our Zorlaran. That's the other side of my family. That's both sides of my family have issues. We're dealing with one side first. Let's focus on the human side before we worry about the drow side.
Get them all in a room together.
One thing I forgot to mention, to add insult to injury, there is notes. There is notes in there that are kind of like loose leaf notes that kind of fall out of the books. Apparently, there was another book at some point that must have fallen apart. It was so old or something. But earlier on in the Horncrow's career, so to speak, there is talk of this Gildan family from Daggerford that were kind of like these up-and-coming nobles within the town that were kind of in the same line of work as the Horncrows. They were doing these artifacts and things of that nature, and the Horncrows didn't like that. So what they did is they ended up blackmailing them as well, and basically made it out to be like their things were fake, and they actually lost like most of their like backing, and ended up losing their noble status, and then have been gone and missing ever since. And it says in these documentations, there are from the Daggerford Trust Vault, which is basically their bank. The money that was left in the bank from that family was transferred over to the Horncrow's account.
So the Horncrows are in with the religious leadership in that city. The Lord Alliance visit in that city. The entire leadership of the city. The financial district in the city. You know what? I think I've completely rethought my thing. The problem is with Daggerford.
it might be.
You might be onto something, Grant.
I'm starting to think that,
We have a primordial fire titan. I'm beginning to think it's not the Mithril Hall of it's with Daggerford.
Yeah, something rotten in the state of Daggerford. You know?
You know, with all of these books, we have evidence to put to do just that, to end what's happening in Daggerford. We have the evidence to show the corruption within the city, and we have the evidence to bring not just the Horncrows to justice. Obviously, we're going to kill the Horncrows. I don't question that one bit.
We don't care
That's
about
not even up to me.
The dead can't
But
stand for justice.
we could use this evidence. There's evidence of them in cahoots with another wealthy family in Waterdeep. We could use that to drag that family like into a legal thing. Like,
So we might be able to make that stick in Waterdeep. But to go after Daggerford, we'd have to go after through the Lord's Alliance.
Yeah, they don't like one of us.
They're the ones behind the bloody thing. Delphin is a Lord's Alliance high-ranking member. Lady, who's her name, is up there as well. She's the leadership of the city.
That's true. However, Waterdeep versus, if not Waterdeep, then the Emerald Enclave. If not the Emerald Enclave, then the Council of the Giants that we just saved the lives of. Somebody.
So now the Giants will come and start a war on the Lord's Alliance.
I don't know.
It's a giant war.
Somebody's gonna get held accountable one way or another.
Are we gonna go right back into Storm King's Thunder, guys?
We might.
Dun, 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 dun.
Somebody needs to hold these individuals accountable.
Somebody
People need to be
does.
afraid. They need to worry when they do something wrong that someone is coming for them.
I think the Cobra should do that.
Oh my god, the Zet's gonna become the good guys.
Sometimes, well, Nina, what you must realize is that at points, people no longer need a guardian or a hero to protect them. What they need is a monster to fear.
The anti-hero.
Ooh, that's intense.
And I think with that statement, I think that is a perfect place for us to end our episode of Kindred List tonight.